Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. Welcome to another edition of the State Podcast, where we talk about some of the hottest topics in all of the National Football League. And also, we go live after every primetime game. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight, we got a treat for you. AFC East matchup between the New England Patriots and the only undefeated team in the National Football League after the loss by the Philadelphia Eagles earlier this Sunday afternoon, the Buffalo Bills. And they'll be playing in Orchard Park. And should be an interesting game, man. Josh Allen and crew back at home again, back-to-back home games. Wasn't their best outing last time versus the New Orleans Saints. So they're trying to bounce back. Got some guys that didn't play last week, will play in tonight's game. And the New England Patriots coming off an impressive 40-point outing against the Carolina Panthers on last week. So you got Stefon Diggs returning back to Buffalo for the very first time. And I'm pretty sure he's motivated to try to have his best performance. It's good to talk about Stefon Diggs other than some of the other off-the-field type stuff that he got going on. Of course, girlfriend Cardi B and all type of other things. But on top of that, he's a talented wide receiver, and he's a guy that can get it done, man. He's in his 11th season and still playing in a major way. He had went over 100 yards off 7 receptions last week and trying to build on that this week. Shouts out to everybody in the chat right now. Shouts out to everybody watching this at home. It's very simple. If you just pulled up on this channel, very simple, very plain. Put your comments in the chat. You want to talk about this game. You want to talk about your favorite football team. You want to talk about a NFL topic. Put that joint in the chat, all right? And we'll be doing play-by-play throughout the night, getting you all up to date on all the information pertaining to these teams. So make sure that you all tune in, sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, special shout out to Brian, Ronnie, Steve, Tom, King, all those that are filing into the chat right now as we take a look at Mike Vrabel in his first season as the head coach of the Patriots, a team that he is synonymous with, and Sean McDermott in his 9th season as the Bills head coach, a 66% win percentage. And you got Freddie Jackson, one of the best running backs that came through Buffalo. He is announcing, getting the crowd hype, and the Buffalo Bills are in their, I guess, their color rush jerseys here tonight. And it's a whiteout, I assume, that you see all the crowd in white. So they're coming, and they're loud and proud to root for their Buffalo Bills, man. Finally, this could possibly be the year where the Buffalo Bills can make it all the way to the end. But they're going to have to get through the New England Patriots tonight. All right, so the keys to victory to me, if you're New England, you got to run the football. You got Stevenson out there, you got Henderson, the rookie out of Ohio State. So you got to be able to use these guys in order for you to generate, the play action, right? And running the football effectively, it sets up the play action. And if you're the Buffalo Bills, you just want to be able to use like the middle of the field. I noticed that the New England Patriots are kind of susceptible in the middle of the field as their linebackers try to figure it out. All right, but here we go. And here's the kick by the Buffalo Bills, and it will be returned from the 6-yard line. All right, so really good return right there, and out comes Drake Maye. All right, so we got Drake Maye, who is coming out and had a really good performance, and he seems like he's coming on and starting to get acclimated to the NFL. He's a tall guy. He's about 6'5", about 230 pounds. A big physical guy, likes to use the middle of the field. Hunter Henry had a big game last week and trying to build on it this week. In the backfield, we got Ramondre Stevenson. Instead, he throws the ball. He gets it real quick to Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs makes someone miss, gets a first down and more, and he's almost at midfield. So you know he's motivated to try to show the Buffalo faithful that they should have never let him go. So anything that keeps that motor running, anything that keeps you motivated, all right? We all know that Stefon Diggs is an incredibly talented guy. He can make you miss, as you just seen. You know, the defender tried to tackle him. He jumps back, and he can get those yards after the catch. All right, so that sets up a 1st and 10 Drake Maye under center, Stevenson in the backfield, got a fullback. He gives him on the toss play. He tries to get around the corner, and he gets absolutely nothing. Gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage right there. So really good pursuit by the Buffalo Bills. So really good pursuit by the defense, and they want to start this game off fast. Last week, not so much. So like I said, Drake Maye is out there right now. Pretty good stats as we see on the screen. 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 rushing touchdowns. Leading the NFL, 74% completion percentage. All right, he's in a gun right now. He looks, and he throws it down. And that's Antonio Gibson right there, the former New York Jet, getting involved in the game. So he gets a few yards on the play. This is going to set up 3rd down. All right, taking a look at the defense of the Buffalo Bills. Very formidable bunch. Matt Milano back in the lineup. All right, Tre'Davious White trying to bounce back from a tough week. And this is going to be a big-time game for him to be able to have a bounce back. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 7 for the New England Patriots. And you got Drake Maye in the gun. The Buffalo Bills showing blitz, crowd in full throat as it is a whiteout. Drake Maye looking, and he goes down, sacked. And Russo on back-to-back really good defensive plays. He stopped Stevenson in a backfield, and now he ends up getting a sack on Drake Maye. So it kind of confused Drake Maye just a tad bit. He thought that they were coming on a blitz. Instead, they dropped back. And it just confused them, and it was enough for them to be able to get the sack. So here we go. On the return, you have Khalil Shakir, who is a really talented slot receiver, but he's also really good at returning punts, but he is going to signal a fair catch. So the Buffalo Bills offense, it is their turn to come out, try to see what they can actually do on the field. Special shout out to everybody coming in right now. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the State of the NFL podcast as we continue to grow that channel. We do live streams every single primetime game. You can catch it right here on this channel. Special shout out to everybody that's been tuning in consistently. And if you're new, like I said, it's very simple. Put your comments in the chat. Doesn't have to be about the game tonight. It can be about your favorite team or a topic that pertains to the NFL or college football or whatever. Just you sit back and enjoy the show, and feel free to jump in on the fun. Let's go ahead and read some of the comments while the game is on a commercial break here. Let's go with Dalton. Dalton says Stefon Diggs and Mac Hollins, 2 former Bill players. Yeah, I mean, Mac Holland is more of that red zone type guy that the Patriots use, in the red zone. He finds most of his success there. And Stefon Diggs, of course, had a couple of really good years with Buffalo. TJ, this is the first game I've seen Kool-Aid trust his instincts. Also, Sinker is quickly becoming a favorite rookie of mine. That kid has it. Yeah, I mean, Ken Arthur, I agree. I mean, I think that Kool-Aid McKinstry had his best game with the New Orleans Saints, and so did Ernest Sinker, continuing to build on that momentum. He's a guy that's been Johnny on the spot, has caught some really good passes, interception last week off Josh Allen. I jokingly said, that's a story he's going to be able to tell his grandkids about. And also today, man, just picking up that fumble, just being a Johnny on the spot. Really good instincts right there. The ball bounces up. Normally that ball just starts flying all over the place, but he was able to have really good concentration. And not only that, he caught the ball in stride as the ball bounced right into his hands. Credit to him. Man, don't we know about Diggs? I mean, the problem is, we knowing way too much about Stefon Diggs these days. I'm liking the Bills unis. Yeah, I mean, I like the icy white jerseys that they're coming out with. I mean, I know a lot of traditionalists out there. They don't really like change, but I like the uniforms. I think they look really good. My Ravens, please send help. Yeah, they need help, man. I'm a little concerned now, but I mean, I will say Lamar Jackson wasn't out there. You ain't about to win too many games with Cooper Rush as your quarterback. So I'm going to just leave it at that. TJ, the red zone woes still concern me, but I like the aggression I seen from Kellen in that game. Yeah, I mean, he was firing up at the referees and really doing some things that you will see from coaches that are extremely passionate. 1st and 10, Josh Allen in a gun, and he tries to escape. He tries to get around the corner, and that's going to be a sack by Ellis. All right, so really good sack right there. Sean Hockley, son of really popular former referee Ed Hockley. He is the headline judge tonight. There's a flag on the play. So let's go ahead and see what that's all about. He ain't as swole as his dad is, but he looks like he's in phenomenal shape in his own right. All right. So anyway, you got Conor McGovern out there, and that's holding right there. So, that little bit of a hold right there was Josh Allen giving him an opportunity to be able to get out of the pocket. So 1st and 17. And Buffalo has to they got to kind of settle down when it comes to these penalties. They were very undisciplined last week, and that was the first offensive play, and you get a holding penalty. So 1st and 17, they're at the 9-yard line. Josh Allen in a gun. He's looking some more. He escapes the pocket. He tries to throw, and that pass is caught, and that is to Dalton Kincaid. And he doesn't get the first down, but he does get that yardage back and makes it a very manageable 2nd down. So you look at Josh Allen here. He realized, he steps. He noticed that the pocket was collapsing. He steps up and just drills the ball right in between the linebacker there, the safety, to Dalton Kincaid. So really good throw. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 2. Josh Allen under center. You got Curtis Samuel in motion. Curtis Samuel back for his, I want to say, 2nd game. He gives it off to James Cook. James Cook gets around the sideline, gets the first down, and gets out of bounds. So that's enough for the first down. So I guess crisis averted by the Buffalo Bills, starting the drive off after a McGovern holding penalty. 1st and 17. They're able to get the first down on 2 plays. So they can breathe a sigh of relief a little bit. They're still at the shadow of their own goal line, but at the same time, it gives you a little bit of space. All right, so we got a 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs for the Buffalo Bills. We see Hawks in motion, the blocking tight end. All right, and here we go. Here's a handoff to James Cook. James Cook goes straight ahead, and he gets about 2 yards on the play. So taking a look at Josh Allen here, everything about his season is an MVP-worthy campaign so far. 70% completion percentage, 241 yards per game, 40 rushing yards per game, 10 total touchdowns, 1 turnover. And I mentioned that 1 turnover came from Mr. Ernest Sinker. So he did something, right? The fact that Josh Allen has played in 5 games and only 1 turnover, and it came off of Ernest Sinker. He should take a bow, young man. All right, so anyway, 2nd and 8. Here's a quick pass to Shakir. He gets up the field, makes somebody miss, but really good sound tackle right there. He gets about 5 yards on the play, but Ellis, once again, getting involved in the game. So Ellis, once again, being very, very active in the game. All right, so Khalil Shakir, to me, is a very underrated receiver. I don't think people really too much talk about him, but he's a guy that's a difference maker. 3rd and 4 for the Buffalo Bills. You got Josh Allen in the gun. He sends Shaver in motion. And here's the snap. Josh Allen looking, got time, flushed out of the pocket. He rolls to his right, still looking deep. He throws the ball, and that pass is caught yet again, and that is his reliable tight end, Dalton Kincaid, for yet another big play. So that just shows you the dynamic of Josh Allen. He's a pocket passer, but he can move those feet. Really good footwork, gets around the corner, steps up in the pocket, just throws it downfield to his reliable tight end. And, that is the worst nightmare of a player that's playing in the secondary. When you have a quarterback that's able to move outside the pocket and extend plays, it gives the receivers opportunity to break off their route. And wait a minute, we got a fumble here, and it's picked up. And it's picked up by Farmer, the interior lineman. So a miscommunication between Dalton Kincaid and Josh Allen, something very uncharacteristic. Usually these guys' chemistry is top-notch. But instead, you got Farmer jumping on the football, the big man, able to get a turnover, and Josh Allen knows and understands that they had some momentum going, and it is stalled because of a miscommunication on a jet sweep. So, ladies and gentlemen, the New England Patriots started off a little rocky, took a couple body shots to the head, kind of rocked them a little bit. But, I mean, twice is averted yet again for the New England Patriots. It was for the Bills when they were on the shadow of their own goalpost. Now we were looking at the New England Patriots. Seemed like it was business as usual for Buffalo on their opening drive, and they fumbled the football. So got ourselves a ball game here. That's how you can beat the Buffalo Bills, take advantage of opportunities like that. So the second week in a row, we see the Buffalo Bills turning the ball over. That's something I would like to see. The Saints run the I formation with AK and Miller. I really hope we can get a little streak going. Tired of losing. This little win we got felt good. Need more of it. TJ, you feel we can build on this win? Well, I think the New Orleans Saints can indeed build on a win. I just don't think, I just think that this is going to be a mixed bag season for the New Orleans Saints. Win one, lose one. I just think that this is a team that's still trying to figure it out. It's good to know that they're not going to go, the whole season without winning a football game. I mean, at least you got that going for you. But I don't put too much stock in, they're turning a corner. I just think that, they won a football game today because they play complementary football for the most part. And when you have 5 turnovers in a game, you better win. I mean, you better win, if you're going to do that. I'm actually trying to pull up the roster here of both teams to make sure that so I can make sure I have every individual's information here. So I just want to pull up their roster and see what what each team can bring. Of course, we watched quite a few Buffalo Bills games. New England Patriots. This is actually, I want to say this was actually my first time watching them all season. So really getting an opportunity to take a good look at the team. All right, so Drake Maye and New England Patriots, 1st and 10. He's on the center. He goes for the play action. He's looking. That pass is caught by Stevenson, and he fumbles the football. And now the Buffalo Bills got the ball. Wow. So back-to-back turnovers, but the question is, was he indeed down by contact? That is the question. Was he down by contact? The referees tried to discuss it, but I don't know, man. But they're saying that it was actually a fumble here, but let's go ahead and take a look because I'm not sure. I don't know if he was down by contact. Let's take a look. And no, ladies and gentlemen, that is a fumble. Right before the knee touched the ground, Stevenson actually fumbled the football. So, I mean, it was close. But Thompson is able to get the ball out, and just like that, Bills give it, Bills take it away. So, you have yourself a fumble and a fumble recovery by the defense. So no harm, once again, no foul for the Buffalo Bills. Wow. That is something that you do not want. That was a great opportunity for the New England Patriots. They were able to get the ball off a turnover, but the defense of the Buffalo Bills give it right back. Once again, Bills give it. Bills take it away. 1st and 10. All right, here's the handoff. Here's a flea flicker. Josh Allen looking, throws the ball downfield. Oh, and it's caught again. By this time by Curtis Samuels, and it's enough for the 1st down. So they tried to go deep down the field, didn't work, but instead, Josh Allen resets and just throws the ball down the field to the left. You see Curtis Samuel just dragging across the field. You got the defender back turn. That's going to be a win every time for a receiver. The referee tried to get the ball set, and they said the ball wasn't set. He tried to run. They tried to get the ball off and snap it. But, of course, the referees weren't ready. So you have the Buffalo Bills trying to play a little tempo there, but it was actually stalled by not the defense of the Patriots. All right, so, I mean, trying to mess with a little bit of the tempo there. But what I like about Sean Hockley, the one thing that I like about him is when he refs games, he always provides transparency. So even if you don't know what the heck going on, he does a really good job at providing transparency. So that's one thing that we're going to get tonight from a Sean Hockley led officiating crew. All right, so 1st and 10. You got Josh Allen under center, James Cook, the lonely back in the backfield, and here's the handoff to Cook. Cook's able to get up the middle, and he gets about 5 or 6 yards on the play. All right, so you got the defense of the New England Patriots on the field right now. A group that's not really, heralded. A bunch of guys that's, you got some talented guys. Like I say, you got Carlton Davis out there. You got Christian Gonzalez, who is one of the best young corners in the league here. So here we go. 2nd and 5. Josh Allen on the toss play, this time to Johnson. Johnson gets up the field. He gets the first down and lowers that shoulder, but hold the phone. There is a flag on the play. Let's see what this flag is about. So another flag on the play very early, a lot of laundry on the field, something that the Buffalo Bills are going to have to clean up. You do not want to have a game that is loaded with laundry. All right, so you got illegal formation going, so more undisciplined play, this time on the offensive side of the football. So they got to get their act together. I mean, they're moving the football effectively, but you're going backwards, and you're basically making it harder on yourself than what it has to be. All right, so we take a look. You can tell by the illegal formation. You don't have the wide receiver on the line of scrimmage. He has to step up, and he was not lined up correctly. Usually, a wide receiver probably look at the referee, see, if he, lined up correctly. He'll give you a little bit of a cheat sheet there. All right, so 2nd and 10. Josh Allen in the gun. He throws it. That pass behind Keon Coleman. Tried to do a little back shoulder fade there. Couldn't connect with the big man, the 6'4" wide receiver in his second year out of Florida State. So 3rd and 10 for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. We take a look at Drake Maye on the sidelines. Thought that he would have an opportunity after a former turnover and one play. End up giving the ball back to Buffalo. 3rd and 10 for the Bills. Now you got Josh Allen in the backfield all alone. Got Johnson. All right, so here we go. Here we go, 50-50 ball down the field, and really good coverage right there by Jones. He tried to get the ball again to Keon Coleman, but that pass is incomplete, so that's going to bring up a 4th down. I mean, that is really good coverage right there. I mean, he's giving up at least about 2 or 3 inches of height, but he's still there being rough, being tough, being physical with the big Keon Coleman. So the Buffalo Bills are going to have to punt. All right, so here's the punt. It gets up there. There's a flag on the play. Got to see what that's about. And if it is on the New England Patriots, then that might be enough for the 1st down. He's still walking. So they get to about the 17-yard line or 6, about the 17-yard line. But there's a flag on the play. So let's see what's going on here. All right, so you go over to the sidelines. Seems like it's going to be on the Buffalo Bills. So another illegal formation penalty on the Bills. So more undisciplined play from the Bills. So that's 4 penalties in the 1st quarter. They're going to have to get their act together. I don't care how good you are. If you give up these many penalties, you're leaving yourself open to defeat very early in the game so they can get it corrected. Are you related to Daniel Jones? Can I call you TJ Dimes? Now, I'm definitely not related to Daniel Jones at all. Yeah, but speaking of Daniel Jones, I mean, he's been playing really great, man. They had a really impressive 40-6 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders today. I believe he had 2 touchdown passes in the game. So shouts out to Daniel Jones, man, resurrecting his career. Definitely on pace for winning comeback player of the year. I mean, I don't think it's even close. I don't think anybody else can even come close to what Daniel Jones is doing out there in Indianapolis. But it's good to see a player resurrect their career when people write them off. I don't know, man. I just feel like New York is just a tough – it's just a tough place to play and be a quarterback. I mean, people always looking for stories. They always trying to, bait you into some type of controversial take, and then on top of that, like you can be the toast of the town one week throwing for 300 yards. You can win a game and be 126-yard passing and 3 touchdowns, and people like, what's going on with him? What happening? I would not want to play in New York. I wouldn't. Like if I was an athlete, I would not want to play in New York. Like that place is like it's just a Shark Tank. Thank God for our team win the game. TJ, do you remember Grandma saying they song about our team victory over the New York Giants earlier? Oh Jesus, thank you, Lord, hallelujah, amen. Now I don't remember my grandma singing that song, but I'm pretty sure my grandmother was happy that the Saints won the game today. She's a big time Saints fan. She loved the Saints. I always credit my grandmother for my love for the Saints. I mean, she's the biggest Saints fan in the world. Like you go into her living room, I mean, she just has Saints like paraphernalia and memorabilia like all on the wall. So big time Saints fan. Shouts out to my grandmother. TJ, what college would you say is tight end U? The University of Iowa, hands down. Iowa would be what I would consider tight end U. I mean, you can probably throw Penn State in there, but I don't think anybody is producing more talented tight ends than Iowa. I mean, you got Noah Fant out here, you got Sam Laporta. I mean, any state of Iowa. I guess you can throw in George Kittle there too. I mean, like these Iowa, like it just seemed like Iowa just can make a tight end. Iowa State, Iowa, can't go wrong, right? If they come from Iowa, I'll take them at tight end. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10 for the New England Patriots. You got Drake Maye under center, and here's the handoff. This is to Gibson, Antonio Gibson this time. All right, so he gets the run. All right, so we look at Ramondre Stevenson, and we haven't seen Henderson tonight, Travion Henderson. We see him on the sidelines now, but haven't really seen him be active in the game. So we got a heavy dose of Antonio Gibson in this game, heavy dose of Stevenson, who is on the sidelines right now after that fumble. Of course, you can't fumble the football, so pretty sure he's on the sideline due to him doing so. And Gibson gets up the middle, and he fights for extra yards, and that's enough for the first down. So really good run right there by Gibson. And, somebody has read the stat report, the stat sheet, and, and understand that the Buffalo Bills, they are a struggling run defense. As good as they are as a team, they have struggled against the run. So what you have right now, you have New England trying to establish the run here on a 1st and 10. You got Drake Maye under center. And here's another handoff to Gibson. He tries to get up the field. He's not as successful as his last 2 runs, but he still gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. All right, so, I mean, that is the name of the game, running the football, trying to establish the run. All right, so we see Ramondre Stevenson comes back out after he fumbles the football, took a couple plays off, tried to get his head right. Gibson is still in the game, so you got 2 of your running backs in the game at the same time. This time, you got Stevenson flanked out left. All right, so he goes in motion. He goes to the backfield. So here you go, fake, throw, nobody's there. So he ends up like flicking a ball down that is not a fumble. And Will Campbell tries to jump on the ball, but it is not a fumble. He just shovel passes it to the ground. I guess the play was blown up by the defense. So instead of just making a play even worse, he decides to flip it on the ground. But you can count Epinesa with the disruption there. I mean, he was off the line really quickly. I mean, really good first step right there, timed the snap perfectly, and was able to disrupt that play from even developing. 3rd and 8. You got Drake Maye in the gun. All right, so here we go. Looking. Throws the ball. That pass is caught. And Booty, the former LSU Tiger, ends up getting enough for the first down. I mean, so really good strength, to be able to catch that ball and reach out for the first down mark is Booty. I mean, really talented guy. Of course, a lot of LSU fans in here know that he was a really talented wide receiver at LSU. So here we go. Here's the toss play off to Gibson. Gibson gets around the side, and it gets about 7 yards on the play. So really good toss play right there by the New England Patriots. So the name of the game right now is running the football and utilizing that clock. They're trying to stay ahead of the chains, short yardage situations. The offensive line, like, you were this close, and I believe him. If he would have got around that corner, that would have been bigger. That would have been a bigger game. He got tripped up at the last minute. So we take a look at the offense. You got the I formation going, old school. You got Mac Hollins down at the bottom, former Buffalo Bill. Fred Flintstone, I like to call him. Only time you see him with shoes in the game. But instead, you got Gibson running up the middle. But this time he gets stonewalled by the defensive line of the Buffalo Bills, and that brings up third down. So we're taking a look at Josh McDaniel, who is probably in his third stint as an offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. Of course, he was head coach of the Denver Broncos, head coach of the Raiders, got fired in both places, and now he's back as offensive coordinator, where his bread has been buttered throughout his entire career. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 3 for Drake Maye and the New England Patriots. He calling out his protections. You got Josh McDaniel. Play call is in. Drake Maye looks. That pass is dropped. The pass is dropped by Stefon Diggs. That's something very uncharacteristic of Diggs. I mean, he had the catch. Maybe he just tried to make a move before he can actually secure the catch. Let's take a look. All right, so got him on the outside, one-on-one on the outside on Tre'Davious White, and the ball is, I guess it kind of came behind him, but Stefon Diggs is one of the best in the game, and he knows it. Regardless of how that pass was behind him, he is a guy who has made a career out of catching the tough catches. All right, so here we go. Shakir is back there. He signals a fair catch. And people don't understand how tough that is to field a punt. Like, that is one of the most underrated things in football. Like, it is one of those things that are hard to do. I mean, that ball is 60 60 feet in the air almost, and it's like coming down, and you got to feel that, and guys yelling at you, and you got to have like really good concentration. Like I said, TJ, the Raiders surpassed the Saints today as the worst team in football. Yeah, man, they pretty rough, man. They pretty rough. Sage Production Podcast says, pause, TJ. What did I say? Let me see. Can you imagine a Raiders versus Saints game right now? It would be like watching the 70s Buccaneers play the 80s Cardinals. Yeah, it would be, would be pretty rough. Both teams are still trying to figure it out. Let's see, Notre Dame, tight end, University. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think so. Let me see. I think it's Iowa, man. I think Iowa. You have to say. Hey, I think you have to say the University of Iowa. All right, so we take a look at this game so far. We're still in the first quarter. Drake Maye 4 of 6, 35 yards, and you also have Josh Allen 4 of 6 for 59 yards. So both quarterbacks are making plays. All right, so here we go. I mean, the University of Miami, they're one of the teams that got some tight ends in here, but I think the University of Iowa, I mean, you got George Kittle, you got TJ Hawkinson, you got Noah Fant, you got Sam Laporta. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that it ain't Iowa, who is not tight end you right now. I mean, I just named like quite a few well recognizable and impactful tight ends. So pause. When it comes to like who got the best school, Iowa, and it's not even close. Yeah, you gotta say Iowa. The University of Iowa produces like some of the best in the game. I have to say. But 1st and 10, and for Josh Allen, he's under center. hands the ball off. This is to Curtis Samuel. He gets up the field. So there's a flag on the play. So, man, this has been the name of the game for the Buffalo Bills so far. Flag on the play yet again. And it just seemed like these guys are just not lined up correctly. Let's see what this is. And you got a holding on offense this time. So, I mean, you got holding penalties, illegal formation penalties. You got false start penalties. I mean, look, they're getting down the field. They're getting down the field. They're making plays, but they're getting in their own way. All right, so we take a look at Dalton Kincaid. Basically kind of grabbed him around his shoulder pads, tried to play it off like he was falling. And that's Carlton Davis, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer and Detroit Lion, on the field right now dealing with an injury. All right, so Carlton Davis, hopefully he's okay, man. He's a talented cornerback, has bounced around for the last couple of years, but New England is happy to have him. All right, so hopefully it's nothing too serious, but you have the team doctor out there on the field. You got Christian Gonzalez as we take a look at him. Once again, a very talented young cornerback. All right, so he's a guy that can get it done. He is a shutdown guy. But this is going to bring up another 1st and 17. And Carlton Davis is able to walk off the field on his own power, trying to jog it off. He puts a thumbs up, says he's going to be okay. So let's just take a look here, see what happened. All right, so a little bit of a leg whip right there, a little friendly fire, and just kind of caught him, man. Yeah. And kind of caught him, man. Whipped around him, little friendly fire there, but it's a good thing he's able to come off on his own power. All right, so we got a 1st and 17 for the Buffalo Bills. All right, sends Shakir in motion. All right, so we're making an adjustment here. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Josh Allen in the gun. Here's the snap. Looking, throws the ball. That pass is complete, but it's a football. And it looked like it's picked up. And New England is saying that they got it. And they do. So Keon Coleman trying to secure the catch, tried to make a move. And the New England Patriots got their second turnover of the night. We see Splain, the former Las Vegas Raider, Johnny on the spot. Ball comes out like a grease pig. Everybody's trying to get on it. And Wilkins is able to do it. So a really good play by Splain right there. He's a guy who can generate turnovers, an interception, a forced fumble. He has been synonymous with that throughout his career. And guys falling on the football, and Josh Allen understands that these are the type of things that get teams beat, and these guys have got to play more discipline. So Hawkins is able to recover the fumble, and that is really good momentum when you're playing in an away game in a stadium that is extremely loud, and it can make it very difficult for you. So 1st and 10 for Drake Maye and the New England Patriots, and they hand it off here. And they give it to Gibson, and he is stonewalled. And you got Bernard on the play, linebacker / safety in there, trying to get active. And it brings up 2nd down. I mean, so you got some talented guys, very underrated defense of the Buffalo Bills. Not the 85 Bears, not the 2000 Ravens, but you got some guys that can make some plays. And that was a really good stop right there. All right, so 2nd and 11 for the New England Patriots. Drake Maye in a gun, fake, tries to get around the side, and he throws the ball at the feet of Austin Hooper. And I don't think it's going to be intentional grounding because he had a receiver in the vicinity, and he was out of the tackle box. And Rousseau is absolutely disrupting his game. I mean, he has had tackles for loss already. He has sacked Josh Allen. He is Drake Maye. He is running in the backfield. Unbelievable, man. 3rd and 11. You have to believe if they don't get 6 points on this play, this is a squandered opportunity for the New England Patriots. So here we go. Drake Maye in the gun, calling out his protections, asks for the ball, looking, rolls to his right. There's a flag on the play, throws the ball downfield, and it is incomplete, intended for Stefon Diggs. But let's see what this laundry is all about. I want to believe that it's holding on the New England Patriots. It has got to be. All right, so at least that's what I thought. But let's see what Hockley has to say. All right, so everybody's looking, seeing what's going on. All right, so that penalty is declined. So that's a false start on New England Patriots. So that player is going to be declined. Mike Vrabel is like, man, wait a minute here. I thought that we was going to replay this down, but instead, here we go. Like I said, illegal formation there. Excuse me. I said false start, but that's an illegal formation. You know, that's the thing about some of these newer formations. Guys aren't lined up correctly. I mean, it's you got to make sure that you're lined up correctly on the line of scrimmage, or if you need to be on the line of scrimmage or not. All right, so here's a 30-yard field goal. And he's able to knock it through. So the New England Patriots get on the board first. So Andy Borgamis, they end up kicking a field goal, so that is good. And New England get 3 points on the board, but that's the best case scenario. You think about the field position where that fumble took place, that could have easily been 7 points instead of 3 points. So a really good stop right there by the Buffalo Bills defense. So Josh Allen trying to get an opportunity to maybe get a lead in this game. I mean, it's about time for the Buffalo Bills offense to get rolling. I mean, a lot of stalled drives due to undisciplined play, guys not going out there, executing to the fullest, false start penalties, legal formation penalties, fumbles. Like, they got to be able to take care of the ball. Ball security is indeed key in this game. Like, I don't care how good you are. You turn the ball over, it could hurt you. All right, Mike Vrabel still having a conversation with the line judge, and he doesn't like it. I can understand why, but he is not happy about that. And Mike Vrabel like, come on, man. And he does not like that play, but he'll be surprised, like, by having these type of conversations with the referees, how that can help you later on in the game. All right, so here we go. All right, so Curtis Samuel trying to get around the corner. Curtis Samuel fighting, and he gets some really good field position there. All right, and he's able to get up, took a real big shot right there. And Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense coming out. And like I said, this is a team that is not a turnover machine. Like, this is a team that plays sound football, and they're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But one thing that you can count on is them holding on to the football and ball security. But tonight has not been the case. 2 first quarter turnovers. Luckily, the score is only 3-0. Curtis Samuel in motion. Josh Allen under center on a 1st and 10. And he sends Curtis Samuel in motion and a play action. And he rolls to his left. And Josh Allen trying to fight and trying to find somebody, he couldn't. So he tried to get whatever he could. He gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. So he gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. And the clock continues to tick as we almost come to the end of the first quarter. All right, so you have to wonder, well, they have to snap the ball at least one more time before the quarter is over. The play clock is at 14 seconds, and the game clock is ticking down. So a few seconds behind. I'm talking the play clock. So here's another penalty. Oh, my goodness. 5 first quarter penalties for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, just undisciplined play, man. Undisciplined. So with that, you would think that, okay, it stops the clock, but it's the first quarter. So they're probably just going to go ahead and let this thing tick out. I mean, regroup, get yourself together, man. Try to focus, because they have been undisciplined in this football game, the Buffalo Bills, and this has been the reason why the score is what it is right now. So at the end of the first quarter, you got the New England Patriots 3, Buffalo Bills 0 in this AFC East showdown. Brother TJ, earlier today you said you don't believe Rat is the quarterback that could throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns, but if you continue to develop him and surround him with talent, So you think he can become that? I mean, I don't want to say never. I just don't look at him in that regard. Like, you could probably put some talent around him. I think that he'll be able to benefit, and his numbers will probably be a little bit better because you'll have wide receivers and offensive weaponry that can maybe get yards after the catch. I think a lot of issues when it comes to Spencer Rattler's stats is that he's throwing to wide receivers that don't get no yak. I mean, I think if he throws the ball to him, let's just say 10 yards down the field, and these guys can turn 10 yards into 15 yards after the catch or 20 yards after the catch, I think that his numbers will look a little bit better. Most of the time it's just throw the ball to the guys, they fall on the ground. Like, I think if you start to get a little bit more, a few more playmakers that can get yards after the catch, make somebody miss, maybe put a stiff arm out there or something like that, you'll probably see his numbers kind of change. You'll probably even see a touchdown, more touchdowns. But right now, it doesn't seem like he have that right now. Ed Hockley is still officiating. Anybody seen Ed Hockley? I haven't seen Ed Hockley in a minute. Unless I'm tripping. I haven't seen Ed Hockley. I think Ed Hockley, yeah, he retired, man. Ed Hockley, 74 years old. Yeah, so Ed Hockley was the man. They used to call him Ed Hercules. But like I said, Sean Hockley, that's his son. I'm about to say Ed Hockley. I know he's still refereeing. I know that ain't the case. I'm about to say it had to be about 80. I mean, Ed Hockley was refereeing when I was a kid. Like, it's too many penalties called on the Buffalo Bills offense. Will they stop doing on the field for real? It's irritating me. Yeah, that undisciplined player gets you beat every time. Luckily for them, they playing a divisional team where everybody knows where the bodies are buried, but you can't play like this against a formidable team, especially like if you're going to be a Super Bowl contender. But, all right, so 2nd and 12, you got Dalton Kincaid in motion, Josh Allen in the gun. Here's the snap. Looking, throws the ball downfield. That pass is caught, and I believe that is Dalton Kincaid, actually. Dalton Kincaid, I believe, his 3rd reception of the night. And like I said, I was saying the keys to victory tonight for the Buffalo Bills is utilize the middle of the field. Like, those linebackers are susceptible of getting beat. And it has been the case tonight. So Dalton Kincaid has found success in the middle of the field. All right, so here we go. Josh Allen under center on the 1st and 10. Hands the ball off to James Cook. He gets uptown. Gets a few yards on the play. I'll say about 3 or 4 yards on that. All right, so 2nd down. So James Cook, who has been having a stellar season, trying to get started tonight. I mean, you look at his stats. I mean, he is tied for 2nd in the NFL in rushing touchdowns, 417 yards for the season off 79 rushes. Of course, we know James Cook got his contract extension this past offseason after a little bit of a contract dispute. All right, 2nd and 6, you got Curtis Samuel in motion. And here's the play action. Josh Allen looking some more, throws the ball down the field. And that pass is completed, and that is to Joshua Palmer, the former Charger. So getting them involved in the game. We see Dalton Kincaid. We've seen him try to go a couple times to Keon Coleman, unsuccessful. So instead, he gets the ball down the field and throws it to Joshua Palmer. So Joshua Palmer, really good, solid receiver, man. More of a possession guy, and they utilize him quite well in Buffalo. So here we go. Here's a toss play. And that's Ty Johnson trying to get up the field, gets a few yards on the play. All right, so here we go. We got the Buffalo Bills on the move, and it have not had issues moving the football tonight. It's just been the penalties. And if they cut down on the penalties, they settle in, I think that they can pull away in this game. It's pretty obvious that a lot of the issues that have plagued this football team tonight has very little to do with what New England is doing. There's a lot of mistakes, them ball security and also just the penalties. Dalton Kincaid in motion on the 2nd and 7, and Josh Allen looking, and he checks it down, and he gives it to Khalil Shakir, and he gets up the field, and he's probably about a yard shy of the first down. So that's going to bring up third down for the Buffalo Bills. All right, so it looked like it was a little bit of trickeration right there. The play didn't develop the way that they wanted, and instead he checks it down to Khalil Shakir and to get as much as he can. They give the handoff, they give it off to James Cook, and he fights and he gets the first down. So second effort by James Cook, he's able to get the first down. Could have got stopped in the backfield, but showed the power and the leverage in order for him to kind of squeak through to get himself a first down. So James Cook's tonight so far, 5 rushes for 19 yards. All right, so we look at the Patriots defense in the red zone. Last in the NFL, 88%. So more than likely when you get into the red zone, you should be able to score against this team. James Cook goes around the left sidelines, and he gets about 5 or 6 yards on the run. So we're starting to see the offensive line of the Buffalo Bills start to get into gear as James Cook gets 2 really good rushes in the game so far. Getting behind his left tackle, Deion Dawkins. Dawkins is able to push the pile and open up a crease for him. You have Dalton Kincaid blocking on the outside, and he's able to squeak through for about 5 or 6 yards. So really good down the field blocking by Kincaid. Really good setup block by Deion Dawkins. All right, so we have Dalton Kincaid in motion on the 2nd and 4. Josh Allen under center. He hands the ball off to James Cook. Gets past the line of scrimmage, but the defense of the New England Patriots are right there to push him back. They're going to give him forward progress. Maybe got a yard on the play. So this is going to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Buffalo Bills. This is a big third down for the New England Patriots. And you have to understand that the Buffalo Bills are a high-powered offensive team. And you don't want to get them into the end zone. You want to try to get them, to have to settle for a field goal. So here we go, 3rd and 3 for the Buffalo Bills. You got Josh Allen in the gun. All right, he sends Ty Johnson in motion. Hands it off to, instead, but it's actually a fake, and he flicks it off to Shakir, tries to get around the sidelines, and that play is going absolutely nowhere because the pursuit of the New England Patriots was right there on the spot, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what this is all about. You got to see what's happening. You got to see what's going on. Is a discussion again by the referees. Now I wonder who this is going to be on. I believe it's on the Buffalo Bills. All right, so we got 2 penalties on that play, but they won't count. So, I mean, I'm looking at about 7 penalties so far in the game, but, 2 of these would decline. But, I mean, he tried to flick it off to Shakir, but, man, credit to the defense of New England. I mean, they just stacked this guy up. All right, so Matt Prater coming out. Matt Prater has been a kicker since the beginning. Of course, we know Bass, who has been put on IR, but Matt Prater has been doing a really good job. And even when Bass comes back, I think that a lot of teams may be looking at Matt Prater to come in and be able to kick for him. Lord knows you have teams like the New Orleans Saints who may need a kicker in the next couple of weeks, or maybe even next week. I'm not a fan of these unis. Look like a wannabe Lions alternative jersey. I mean, they don't look too bad to me, man. I like I think them things would be clean like it was snowing outside or something, like have that snow white, icy look. I mean, I think it's a nice little touch, from a place in Western New York where it snows, like it snows. Like I don't know, like you're in Antarctica or something. Like it's insane the way how much snow they get in Western New York. The New England Patriots have more rings. What up, Jet Black? Giving a shout out to Jet. Charlie Smith has to start next week. I agree. And look, man, I got respect for some of the Saints beat writers. I really do. But man, the way that they were trying to make excuses for Blake Grupe, making excuses for him on a post-game show, I gotta say, man, I'm very disappointed in y'all this evening. Like, man, this guy ain't it. Like, he missing these field goals, shanking it, and costing the team points. Like, nah, man, you got one job as a kicker. I ain't trying to hear. Because you'll sit up there and ridicule some of the other players, but you giving Blake Grupe a pass. You must have gave him an exclusive or something. Are the Saints capable of defeating the Buccaneers and Atlanta Falcons? I mean, it's a divisional game, so I want to say they are capable of doing it, but I mean, the way that Tampa playing right now, man, Tampa probably can beat like any team in the NFC right now. So I don't know. Say what can a Rat do to secure his spot as the franchise quarterback? What can he do? Just continue to play as steady as he can all the while. Try to build on every single performance that he has. That's it. I mean, I like the only knock people really had on him, was the fact that he didn't win no games. Like, now that he got that off his back, I'm not saying like, okay, now that he won a football game, now you ain't got to worry about winning no more. I'm not saying that, but to get that first win, I think that was something that was just hanging over his head, not being able to win. But now that he got that today, I think he can kind of breathe a sigh of relief and just continue to build on, the performances and try to get better all the while. All right, his son. I felt confused for a minute. Yeah, that's his son. That's Vince Carter in the building. Man, Vince looks slim, man. All right, so we got Vince Carter, man. I don't know some of y'all younger cats, man. I'm telling y'all don't know how special Vince Carter was dunking that basketball, man. That ball was the truth, especially like when he was in Toronto, man. Vince Carter was a highlight reel. But anyway, speaking of which, we got a return by Antonio Gibson, gets around the sidelines and, whoa, wait a minute. And they get the helmet on the football and there's a scrum. Who got the ball? Who has the ball, ladies and gentlemen? Still no signal yet. Everybody's still fighting. You got training staff out there on the field. You got referees out there on the field. What is going on? Okay, so it looked like they signaled New England, but there's somebody look like he's down on the field. I mean, you got the training staff out here. All right, so here we go. What's going on here? And you got Antonio Gibson. And oh my goodness, takes a shot and look like he take a shot at the knee. He just grabs his knee immediately. So, man. So you hate to see that from Antonio Gibson. He's trying to get up the field. Now he's down on the field. He grabs his knee right away. So he's down on the field, man. Let's hope that Antonio Gibson is indeed okay. And you hate to see that from the young man. But the New England Patriots have they got a really big chance of trying to, get some points on the board. I mean, it seems like they're playing pretty well. I mean, they're staying disciplined. They're minimizing the mistakes. That they're able to generate some turnovers. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is one of those things where you got to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that Buffalo gives you. I believe the Saints are building up condolences with more victories. All right, why aren't the Saints capable of winning the division? I mean, I just think that they ain't ready yet. You still got young, inexperienced guys. You got a young, inexperienced coach. And I just think that Tampa Bay is just ahead of the curve right now. People don't want to admit that or see that, but it's just the truth, man. Tampa Bay is like they I know they've had the reputation like, oh man, they just play in a sorry division, but seems like they have established themselves to a point where they can actually be a contender in the NFC. I mean, they beat a very impressive Seattle team where you got Sam Darnold out there throwing for nearly 400 yards. And, you got Jackson Smith and Jigba out there for over 150, and they still found a way to win. So, got to give them credit in that regard, man. It's going to be a tough outing. I can see the Saints beating the Falcons. I can see that, at least splitting with them. But I mean, I would say that they have a chance because they play in the same division as Tampa, but man, they're gonna have to play pretty flawless to be able to beat them. I believe the Saints already read that. Says nice hit, but Pats look to have it. Tell Chosen and Mr. Jerry I said congratulations. Buffalo Bills are wearing all white like a snowy white like that in wintertime, TJ. I ain't even lying. Yeah, I think man, you hate to see that, man. Like, okay, so he steps right there and just look like he maybe landed on his knee or something like that, but he's limping off. I'm glad that he was able to get off on his own power. So 1st and 10, all right. And that pass is caught. That's by Stefon Diggs. And he gets a few yards on the play. And as he starts to jaw with some of his former teammates. All right, so like I said, last week against the Panthers, he had 6 receptions for 101 yards. So a really good, impressive performance by Stefon Diggs. All right, so 2nd and 6 for the New England Patriots. Hunter Henry in motion. Been relatively quiet tonight. All right, gives it back to Stefon Diggs. He gets up the field, gets enough for the first down. And now he continues to march upfield on all fours. So you can tell, man, he's a fiery guy. He's intense. He's an intense guy when he's out there on the field. He's a difference maker. And he has had his fair share of ups and downs throughout the last couple of years, dealing with a torn ACL when he was playing for the Houston Texans. Now he's trying to, get himself back on track with the New England Patriots. So 1st and 10 for Drake Maye and the New England Patriots. He's under center. Here's the play action. He's looking. He throws. That pass is caught and hit immediately at Travion Henderson, the rookie out of Ohio State. So he's a guy, man, that's capable, but he has had the case of the fumbles as of late, which is one of the reasons why he has seen his production begin to kind of be on a downward spiral. I mean, he's talented now. I mean, we know his first play in the NFL ended up being a touchdown or a kick return. So he's an explosive guy, but he's still in the game on a 2nd and 6 and probably going to see him if Antonio Gibson can't come back. Drake Maye looking, try to step up in the pocket, and he takes a hit, and he is sacked. And A.J. Epinesa, a fun name to say, is in on the sack. So once again, we see Epinesa being disruptive in the backfield. I mean, it seemed like he's timing the snaps perfectly. Right? As soon as he says hike, he's right there in the backfield. Really good first step off the line, still competing, able to get around the LSU rookie. A rookie out of LSU, Will Campbell, and he's able to get the sack on Drake Maye. So 3rd and 8 for New England. Drake Maye in the gun. And here's the snap. And he rolls, he tries to get around the corner again. There's a flag on the play. And again, this time is Bernard. So back-to-back sacks by Buffalo, but let's see what this flag is all about. So the pressure is revving up. You got holding on the defense. All right, so you're taking a look at, you take a look at this Buffalo Bills defense. I mean, they're getting pressure on Drake Maye. All right, so unfortunately, the sack is going to have to be taken off the board because of the penalties here. So it's a 3rd and 8, offsetting penalties, 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8 for the New England Patriots. All right, so you have Drake Maye in the gun. All right, sends Hunter Henry a little in motion. And he's looking some more. Throws the ball down the field, and that pass is incomplete. I don't know who he was throwing that to. Maybe Casper, the friendly ghost, because there was no receiver in the vicinity. So that's going to bring up 4th and 8. So another stalled drive by Drake Maye and the New England Patriots. All right, so they have to send out the punting unit and Khalil Shakir, who has fielded the last 2 punts. So Bryce Behringer is out there on trying to punt the ball away. And here we go. Here's the punt high, and he waves it off as Shakir, and it bounces and takes a little bit of a Buffalo bounce and probably gets to about the 10-yard line. So, not bad. Not a bad punt right there. And sets the Buffalo Bills up with their backs to the shadow of their own goalpost at the 10-yard line. Hit that like button and subscribe to the SOTS. Also, subscribe to the SOTN too. State of the NFL. Make sure y'all subscribe to that too. I really appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and put that link inside of the comments for those that want to subscribe to the channel, want to help the channel to grow. I would really appreciate that. As we get up to 750 subscribers on that channel, I'm very proud of that, especially since we just started that channel this year. So, a lot of people have been tuning into that channel and taking a part in the live streams and checking out some of the videos that we make during the week. So I'm going to go ahead and put that link inside of the comments. Make sure you hit that link and subscribe to the channel. Saints 8 today. Happy we got the first win. Yeah, the Saints got their first win of the season. It's good to know that they're not going to go defeated the entire year. TJ, are you on the fence with Howden? I think players desperately need this game for their morale and confidence. Hopefully it translates to more dogfights in the games and ultimately wins. Well, I still feel the same way about Jordan Howden. It was good that he was able to get a punt return for a touchdown, but I still think that you can do better at the safety position. But I will say this. I feel like the safety position got a little better when Justin Reed went down. I hate that Justin Reed went down, but it seemed like the young guys were up to the challenge. We seen Terrell Burgess out there making plays, Jordan Howden out there making plays. So it seemed like, these young guys are taking it serious. You're in the sinker. Like, these guys are making plays, and given the opportunity, they're taking advantage of it. So the more they take advantage of these opportunities, the more difficult it's going to be for these coaches to not have them on the field. Like, that was a really good play by Terrell Burgess on that flea flicker. He was able to make up so much ground in order to get that pass deflection. Slayton was wide open. He was wide open. I think I already read that. Says Saints defense will keep them in most games this year. It will be up to the offense and special teams to capitalize. This draft class is looking low-key nice. And you got TJ, would you say LSU is wide receiver U and Florida State is DBU? Also, some would say Miami is LBU. I say Penn State is LBU. I think Penn State probably produced some of the best linebackers. All right, so here we go. On the 1st and 10, James Cook able to run down the field. You think about Michael Parsons, or you think about Abdul Carter, guys in the past like LeVar Arrington. They've had some really good linebackers. Sean Lee went to Penn State, a former Dallas Cowboy. I would say linebackers probably Penn State. They're kind of synonymous with the linebacker play. But 2nd and 7 for the Buffalo Bills. You got Josh Allen in a gun. You got James Cook in the backfield with him. And he sends Palmer in motion. He also sends Shavers in motion. All right, so here we go. Here's the snap. And Josh Allen stepping up in the pocket, and he's going to take off and run. He gets past the 20 to the 30, and he gets tackled out of bounds. And really good run right there by Josh Allen. So you got yourself a 19-yard gain on the play by Josh Allen. And we know that Josh Allen is capable of doing this. Now, he hasn't been doing it as much as he did when he first came into the league out of Wyoming. But you give him an opportunity, he doesn't see anybody, he is going to be off to the races. He tries to deliver a stiff arm to the linebacker, to Ellis, Kristen Ellis, and all of a sudden, he just rides him down to the ground. Pause. All right, so 1st and 10. And there's a little bit of confusion, so there's going to be a timeout by the New England Patriots. Timeout by the Patriots. with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. TJ Jones here on the State of the NFL podcast, giving you all the live stream watch along between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. Got ourselves a 3-3 tie right now with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. And you got the Buffalo Bills trying to get on the board again. We just seen a 19-yard scramble by Josh Allen, the reigning NFL MVP. And it seems like he is trying to make a campaign at it again. Hard to see somebody playing at the level of Josh Allen right now. I don't see too many people. All right, but here we go. Once again, a 1st and 10. 1st and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. You got Josh Allen under center. And here's the handoff to James Cook. Gets around the corner, gets past the line of scrimmage, gets up the field. I want to say maybe he got about 5 or 6 yards, but tell me if you heard this before tonight. There's a flag on the play. So another holding penalty. My goodness. My goodness. Sean McDermott is going to have to go into the locker room and talk to his team because the undisciplined play continues. Every time they get a positive play, a big play, and it was a big play, you have James Cook on a stretch. He's able to get around the corner, breaks the tackle of Christian Gonzalez, and you can clearly see the hold right there in front of your face. I mean, 6 penalties right now for 39 yards, and it's only the second quarter. We're still in the first half. Pretty long game. I mean, it's pretty obvious what Sean McDermott is going to have to do and say at halftime. But 1st and 20 for the Buffalo Bills. You got Josh Allen in the backfield by himself. He scrambles, he looks, he steps up in the pocket, and he takes off again. Gets around the corner, gets to the 20, the 30, and he gets out of bounds. So once again, we see Josh Allen using his legs, trying to get as much as he can, trying to make the down more manageable yet again. So on a 1st and 10, he's probably able to get about 10 or 12 yards. Man. All right, so we see Connor McGovern there, dealing with an injury. I mean, those big boys, man, they take a lot of punishment. And they never leave the field. It's not like how it is with the running backs. But James Cook getting up the field on a 2nd and 10, gets about 3 or 4 yards on the play. So that's going to set up about a 3rd and 6. And the clock continues to tick as we get down to the 3-minute mark and under 3 minutes. And this is a slow, methodical drive that has been stalled by penalties, but it's a 3rd and 7. And if you're Buffalo, you're trying to convert this 3rd and 7, try to keep the clock moving, and maybe not allow New England to possess the ball again. But here we go. Josh Allen looking, scrambling, steps up, and he has nowhere to go, and he goes down on the sack. So you got Milton Williams in on a sack. And Josh Allen, that is the way that you neutralize him. You got to make sure that you keep him in the pocket. So really good defense by New England. Usually you open up a lane. So you got pressure coming up underneath, which forces Josh Allen to shift to his right and right into the hands of Milton Williams. And he's able to slam him down to the ground very aggressively. Hopefully Josh Allen is okay. That was a pretty hard slam there. All right, so here we go. Here's the punt. High punt. And towards the sideline, he makes a spin, and he gets wiped out after that. So Jones, who has been playing pretty well tonight as a starting corner, but Franklin is right there. I mean, Jones is trying to make it happen. Tries to make a little Michael Jackson spin there, but, man, he was taken out. Right in the chops by Franklin. I mean, you got to be careful. I know you try to make a play, but those guys are coming down the field 20 miles per hour. Man, good luck with that. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10 for Drake Maye and the New England Patriots. And here's the toss off to Henderson. Henderson trying to get around the side, gets up the field, gets the first down and more. and gets out of bounds to stop the clock at 2 minutes and 16 seconds. But the clock, I guess, it continues to move. I don't know. It continues to move as they go down to the 2-minute warning. So you got to believe that the New England Patriots are just going to take this into the 2-minute warning and try to leave as little time on the clock if they can't score for Josh Allen to facilitate a 2-minute drill. Patriots are dominating on Josh Allen for a sack, TJ. Yeah, I mean, that was a really good move right there. I mean, you got to be able to keep Josh Allen in the pocket. You notice like what they did was they sent pressure underneath to keep him there, which made him roll to the right side, but you had two defenders right there to bring him down. So that's the key, but most teams can't do it. But that was really good pressure up the middle about a New England Patriots defense. TJ, did you notice that the top quarterbacks in the league are all from programs that aren't really in the national spotlight? Patrick Mahomes, Texas Tech; Lamar Jackson, Louisville; Josh Allen, Wyoming. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't noticed that, but I mean that's very intriguing. But it also just tells you, if you're talented, they're gonna find you. And if you're talented enough, if you align yourself with the right people, the right coaches, they will bring it out of you. So that's what I feel. I don't think it's so much all the time about just the quarterback themselves. I've seen some really talented quarterbacks go to teams that aren't good for them and they struggle. And I think the worst thing that we do sometimes is we feel like we got the full story on a guy. It just may not be the right circumstance. Sometimes guys go to bad football teams, and with those bad football teams, the coaches don't put them in the right position to succeed. I often say I feel like the greatest Jedi mind trick is, the fact that we just accept the fact that players aren't good and we never really look at the organization. Like if your organization is the Jets and you're constantly picking in the top 3, right? Like how can you possibly blame any player that comes through that door more so than the actual organization? Like the organization just in shambles. And no matter who you put out there, it just seems like they never will seem to find that level of success that they look for, right? And then when they go somewhere else, that's when you see them balling out. That's when you see them doing their thing. So I don't know. I just think sometimes the organizations fail these guys. Like you got to be able to put the right infrastructure around these players. Yeah, so now the Eagles are the topic of conversation because they lost today. Not everything going wrong. That's what I say, man. These East Coast publications, my goodness, man. 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and they hand it off. And that's Travion Henderson again. Getting a heavy dose of Travion in the second quarter due to Antonio Gibson. You can just see the tears in his eyes, man. Guy who running well tonight, and he knows, man. But you hate to see that, man. You try your whole life to get to this point, to be in the NFL. You're getting opportunities. You're getting snaps. You're part of the rotation, and then you go down. So prayers up to Antonio Gibson, man. All right, Drake Maye trying to scramble up the middle. He slides and takes a hit. They're gonna throw that as a flag, and yep, they're gonna get you every time for that. I mean, he gave himself up, tried to give him a shot, and they're gonna call the flag. So undisciplined play continues. Bernard, I'm sorry. Look, I like you. I think that you're a really good player, but they're gonna call that every time. He gives himself up. He slides, and you see that he's sliding, and you give him something a little extra. Now you can make an argument to say that the way that he slid left himself open, but they're gonna call that on the defense every single time. He doesn't like it. I understand, but hey, it's an offensive-driven league, and he did indeed give himself up. So, yep. So you dove right in front of him. And no matter how malicious the intent you may think that it was, if or lack thereof, you got to make sure that you're not trying to hit the quarterback. All right, so here we go. Looking, checks it down, gets it off to Stevenson. Stevenson tries to get around the corner, gets past the line of scrimmage, but once again, here's another flag. Another flag. Flag has been the name of the game tonight. My goodness, let them play. I mean, these referees are getting way too much TV time tonight. Wouldn't y'all agree? I mean, I like Sean Hogley. Like I said, I like how he. So Kayshon Boutte is called on the face mask, so they have to back it up like it's 1999. 1 minute 11 seconds left in the second quarter. First half is almost at an end. And as you can see, I mean, he's just grabbing a face mask. I mean, he's just ripping at it. And they're going to call that, man. So undisciplined play has been the name of the game, mostly for the Buffalo Bills, who have 7 penalties. But believe it or not, that is the first penalty of the night for New England. So play action. Drake Maye rolling to his right, throws the ball, and it is. And Douglas is able to corral the catch. Really good catch right there. So let's see. And he catches the ball. Yeah. So really good athletic catch right there by Douglas. That's how you take advantage of opportunities. Minute and 5 seconds left. Take a look at Josh Allen on the sidelines. If you're the opposing team, that's exactly where you want him to be. Drake Maye under center is a play action. Looking some more. Got some time in the pocket. Throws the ball downfield, and that pass is caught. And that is Hunter Henry, the former Arkansas Razorback. I mean, really good pass right there by Drake Maye to Hunter Henry. Throws it up high, only where Hunter Henry can get it, and the big man comes down with it. So 53 seconds left on the clock. Probably the best pass of the night, clearly, by Drake Maye and Hunter Henry. They're able to catch the ball, survive the ground, get down before anybody can hit them or absorb any type of punishment. Patriots will not be easy next week. Oh, absolutely not. They're becoming a better football team, and they will be a good football team under Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is a really good coach. I mean, I think the worst decision Tennessee has made was made by them when they decided not to, bring Mike Vrabel back. These teams get too big for their britches sometimes. Drake Maye hands it off to Travion Henderson, tries to get around the corner, fights for extra yards, gets underneath, but he gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. So they're trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, trying to preserve their timeout. But instead, Buffalo calls a timeout. I still hate that rule. Quarterbacks get a guaranteed extra few yards every time. They're going to look after the quarterbacks, man. That's just the name of the game. See 137 over there on Twitter watching. Well, look, I appreciate all 137 of them. That's watching over there. I appreciate that. Does Drake Maye have a star factor? I think he does. I just think that, everybody's not going to be like an overnight success. Sometimes it's a marathon, not a sprint for players, I just think that sometimes you got to allow these players to develop. All right, Drake Maye in play action, steps up in the pocket. He's going to take it himself, tries to scramble, and takes a huge shot by A.J. Epinesa, but he's able to get the first down. So Drake Maye there showing his toughness. I mean, he took a shot. I mean, so you're running straight ahead. Travion Henderson tries to make a run, but here you go. Drake Maye tries to, tried to lower the shoulder, But they're going to take that, Eric, man. They are going to take advantage of that. If they look forward to the quarterback running so they can get their shot on. All right, so Drake Maye. On a 1st and goal in the gun. Hands the ball off. No, but instead he takes it himself on a little RPO action. And nobody is fooled. Matt Milano right there, back after missing a week with an injury. Didn't play last week versus the Saints in the game tonight as the clock continues to tick. And Mike Vrabel calls a timeout with 17 seconds left on the clock on a 2nd and goal. So they have 2 timeouts. So your playbook is still at your disposal. You can run the ball. You can throw the ball. And you still have an opportunity. And if you throw the ball and it's incomplete, it does stop the clock. If you throw the ball and it's caught in the field of play, you still can stop the clock. Maybe set up a field goal. TJ, I haven't done the research, but I'm betting majority of the guys in the Hall of Fame are from smaller programs as opposed to high-profile draft studs. Your thoughts? Well, I will have to see. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Hall of Famers from smaller schools. I'll get back to that in a second. 18 seconds left, 2nd and goal. Drake Maye looking, plenty of time, rolls to his left, still looking, throws the ball down the field, and he tries to connect with Douglas, but that pass is incomplete, so that's going to bring up 3rd and goal. You don't know if I really like that play. It took a really long time, but I guess when you have a timeout, there's a chance for an incomplete pass. It stops the clock, but he had plenty of time. I mean, the offensive line held up. He rolled to his left. He tried to connect with Douglas. He could have had him, but, somebody coming after you, and you probably would have gotten there if A.J. Epinesa, didn't deflect the pass. Probably would have got to Douglas. But here we go, 3rd and goal. And here's the snap, and we got ourselves a false start on New England. So this is going to make a 3rd and goal even more difficult to convert as they step back 5 yards with 10 seconds left. All right, so Butte again as a penalty, a 15-yard penalty, now a false start penalty. So he has accounted for 20 yards loss on his drive. So you definitely don't want that. So Kayshon Butte is honestly, the penalties are indeed booty. All right, so 10 seconds. Looking. Drake Maye steps up in the pocket, throws the ball down the field, and there's a flag on the play, and they're going to call that every time. This is on Trey White. Tre'Davious White responsible for a pass interference call, and that's going to set the ball up at the 1-yard line with 4 seconds remaining. So you got a decision that you need to make right here. I mean, you probably can run the football with 4 seconds left. If it doesn't happen, then you can call a timeout. But you have to wonder, how long will it take for that play to happen? All right, maybe we're looking at Drake Maye diving over the pile. Maybe a handoff to the fullback. In this case, Hunter Henry. All right, so instead, they send Henry in motion, and he rolls some more, and it's incomplete. But luckily for them, leaves 1 second left on the clock. Wow. 1 second left on the clock. Man, if they didn't have that 1 second, I would believe I know what the topic of conversation would be around the Boston area. Had him, but Hunter Henry just could not turn around in time. All right, so a pretty much a chip shot field goal here for. All right, so here we go. And Bora Gellis is able to knock it through. So It's halftime, and the New England Patriots going to the half with a 6-3 lead over them Buffalo Bills. And if this stays the same the entire time and New England wins the game, I just wish the great Mercury Morris was here, where he can pop that champagne like he often does every time the 72 Dolphins end up the very last team in the NFL end up losing, and they keep their 1972 undefeated streak intact. May he rest in peace. I used to enjoy that, man. They used to always pop champagne. The legendary Don Shula. They used to always like pop that champagne every single year. Like when the last team that undefeated lose a game. The Detroit Lions are red hot right now. They're going to be a hard team to beat because it seems like their defense is trending in the right direction. And it seemed like they better since Aaron Glenn left the team. Like Calvin Shepard has been doing a really good job with that defense. I mean, Drake Maye just sounds like a superstar name. I mean, you got some people that had some superstar names, but they didn't live up to the hype, you know. I think Drew Bledsoe was a pretty superstar name. You know, didn't live up to the hype. Jeff George. That's a pretty cool name. You think about it. could thread the needle, but couldn't play dead in a Western. That's just the way it goes sometimes, folks. Aaron Glenn is a loudmouth. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I think Aaron Glenn, he gives me high school coach, college coach vibes, right? Like you can't be treating grown men like they kids, you know? I mean, I just think that he had too much of a new sheriff in town type vibe, and like, man, all that stuff is cool, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work out for Aaron, man. I don't. I think he might be a one and doneer. And I don't really advocate for that, but it just seemed like the type of energy that he has, it just doesn't really translate in the form of a head coach. Like you can be that rah-rah guy, like as a skilled position coach, but as a as a guy who they're just leaders of men, like nah, bro. Like, man, you get like all that rah-rah stuff, that'll work. Like, so when you're a head coach, you got to be a different type of vibe. Bledsoe was a 4-time Pro Bowler. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler, but I mean, I'm talking about he wasn't a superstar. You said a superstar. I mean, he was an NFL star, but I wouldn't call Drew Bledsoe a superstar. You said a superstar name. You didn't say like a pretty good name. We talking about when you say superstar, you talking Peyton Manning, right? Talking Tom Brady, talking Drew Brees, right? I mean, when we talking about superstar, we ain't just talking about stars. Like I'm with you. If we talking about like just a really good football player, of course, but you weren't a superstar. Wish we could get Devin Neal more involved in offense. Yeah, I think eventually they will. I don't know, after Velus Jones' performance and the boneheaded decisions on special teams, why not give Devin Neal a chance? One of the reasons why he was never seen again after that first return, I didn't see Velus Jones no more. Young boy said, we seen enough. And all you seen Kendre Miller returning them kicks and punts. All right, but y'all already know, man, we're gonna take a brief break. And we'll be back in the third quarter. So go get yourself something to eat, something to drink, chillax a little bit, right? And we'll be back at the start of the third quarter. This is the state of the NFL. And we're back here on the State of the NFL podcast. It is yours truly, TJ Jones, with you. And it's the start of the second half between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. And surprisingly, this has not been a blowout. All right, so we had a little flag football game going at halftime. Yeah, being a flag football. I actually joined the adult flag football league myself, man. uh, so yeah, flag football, man, that's pretty fun. For those that don't know, I coach my son's flag football team. Proud defensive coordinator up in there. Team averaging, giving up about 9 points a game. Taking a lot of pride in that, folks. 9-10 points a game. Playing some really good defense over there. Shouts out to my boy flag football team. Unfortunately, they called the Cowboys. But anyway, appreciate you all for being here on the State of the NFL podcast. Like I mentioned, with flag football, I mentioned that. I actually was showing a video of me kind of warming up, man. It's been a minute since I actually did some practicing flag football here. So this is me out there just catching some passes, trying to knock off some of this rust. And speaking of knocking off the rust, you have James Cook, who are trying to get up the field, gets a few yards on the play. But yeah, that's out me a few little clips from when me being out there catching some passes. Yeah, I had to ice them knees up. Had to ice them knees up after. But yeah, man, it was fun actually doing this and still being able to catch the ball, man, because it's been a while. All right, Josh Allen, play action, throwing the ball down the field. That pass is caught by Dalton Kincaid. He gets past the 50-yard line, and a really big game right there. So Dalton Kincaid is having a really good night so far. All right, so you see Dalton Kincaid just go across the formation, and he beats Jones this time, who has been having a pretty decent night, but he's able to get past there. All right, so Dalton Kincaid wasn't a factor last week, but he definitely bouncing back tonight. 4 catches for 68 yards. All right, so here we go. James Cook able to get around the side, get up the field. He gets tripped up, and he was close to breaking that one. TJ, this game is proof that you can be the favorite on paper all you want, but you got to go out there and play and prove it to be true. Games aren't won on paper. Yeah, that's what I say. Game, you got to go out there and play. I don't underestimate anybody. I don't underestimate any team. I didn't understand why we wasn't using Taysom as a running back more in power. I form isn't working anymore. I'm gonna get to that in a second. As we see a play action, we see Josh Allen rolling to his right, and he gets the first down and he gets out of bounds. So that's the good thing. He was able to get the first down on a passing play. But what you were saying is using Taysom, as a running back more. Look, this is his first game back. I think they were just kind of knocking off the rust. Like, you can clearly see that Taysom Hill isn't what he once was. Like, you can tell, like he's not there yet. Right? I mean, you could tell, like, there's a lack of explosion. He was, usually like Taysom just cut and just run up there, man, and get through the hole. But today it was kind of hesitant. So I just think it's about him trusting his body again. And this time James Cook is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, so we look at this defensive formation, man. I mean, they're able to get a stop this time on James Cook. I mean, James Cook is a guy that gets up the field, and that offensive line takes a lot of pride at opening up lanes for James Cook. All right, so here we go. It's a 2nd and 9. You got Joshua Palmer in motion. And here we go. I think that's going to be on the New England Patriots. Look like it's a neutral zone infraction. It's probably going to be on number 2. Yeah, and it is. So you got Harold Landry, who is guilty of the neutral zone infraction, trying to get that extra jump, right? Trying to get that first step on that right tackle. So it's been having a really good season so far. We see it, 3.5 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, and 4 tackles for loss. But he is guilty of the neutral zone infraction on that play. So 2nd and 4 for the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen in a gun. He throws the ball. That pass is caught by Keon Coleman, and he gets enough for the first down. So Keon, who has been targeted tonight, has been relatively quiet, and I believe that is probably his first reception of the game. Unless he caught something else, but I don't think it has been I think that it is his first reception of the night. Keon Coleman, second-year guy out of Florida State, is looked to as the number 1 receiver on the team. All right, so now he has actually 2 receptions for 8 yards tonight. All right, so Josh Allen on the 1st and 10, looking, throws the ball. That pass is caught, and that's by Dawson Knox, a guy who I feel like is very underrated as a tight end, doesn't really be utilized as much like he used to back in the day. It's mostly the Dalton Kincaid show. And Hawks, is another guy who was a blocking tight end. And, they've been using him in the red zone lately. So Dawson Knox has been kind of the eye man out. If I'm a team and I'm looking to trade for a tight end, I'll probably be looking at Dawson Knox. All right, so 2nd and 3. And here's the pass off to Khalil Shakir. He gets around the corner on a wide receiver screen, and he goes for the ride out of bounds, and that's going to set up 1st and goal. So a really good drive right here. Very methodical drive by the Buffalo Bills as they try to punch it in for a touchdown to give them a lead, in this game. This game was tied at 3-3 before the New England Patriots kicked the field goal in a half to go into the locker room by 3. But now we see the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, and the crew on the move. So Josh Allen in the guns sends Shakir in motion from left to right. And we see some pressure. Josh Allen rolling to his right, tries to get around the corner. He's trying to look, and he just throws the ball away. And the reception was made by the guy in the first row. And he gets the ball, and he just gets the heck out of there. So this guy like, shoot, my job is done. Man, so anyway, 2nd and goal. Now, all he wanted to do was keep that ball at the end of the day. He didn't want him to get hit text for it back. But here we go, Curtis Samuel, and he just walks into the end zone for the touchdown. Curtis Samuel into the end zone. And about as easy as you can see a touchdown being made, I mean, nobody was around. And look at that Matt Vrabel. He is beside himself. That was a busted coverage if I ever seen one. Able to use a little motion, catch the guy off, and he just walks into the end zone for the touchdown. All right, so here we go. Matt Prater coming in, trying to provide the extra point that will put the Buffalo Bills up by 4 points. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. So the Buffalo Bills, just like that, said that they tired of playing around with these boys. Stop giving them hope. But what a catch. Not only can you say you got the football, but you actually caught a reception of Josh Allen. But anyway, Curtis Samuels into the end zone, high stepping like prime time. Buffalo, 4-point advantage. TJ, who would win between Mike Tyson and Jack Johnson? Oh, man. Well, since one of those guys, was a star in the 80s and the other guy was a star in the 1880s. Look, man, Jack Johnson was the man. Number one, he was the first he was the first like superstar athlete. Like people don't know, like give y'all a little history lesson. Like Jack Johnson was like one of the first American superstars, right? He was a guy that was the first individual to actually have a sports car. Like his car, the car that he had was one of the ones that exceeded 20 miles per hour. You know? and the joke was he constantly used to get stopped by the police, you know, but this was during the time like when cars were in their infancy and like nobody really knew what to think about it. But he used to always like kind of get stopped by the police for him speeding up and down the street. Jack Johnson marched to the beat of his own drum. I mean, he didn't give a damn what nobody said, like seriously. And man, he was the best boxer in the world at the time. And Mike Tyson, I mean, look, what can you not say about him? Youngest heavyweight champion of all time, Customado trained him. I feel like he was at his best then. I just wish that Cus was a little bit younger. I don't think that Mike Tyson's life or career probably would have ended up the way that it did because, I mean, he lived by Cus, man. I think when Cus died, I think it kind of affected him when he aligned with Don King and crew. But to answer your question, who would actually win? I think that Mike Tyson will beat Jack Johnson. I think that he would. But Jack, but the one advantage that Jack Johnson actually had was back in them days, they was going past 15 rounds, folks. They was going past 15 rounds. Like they was dying in the ring for real, man. Jack Johnson used to be up in there fighting guys in round 16 and whatnot. So, yeah, we talking about endurance. Like, if it goes to, like, the championship rounds, I'll have to give it to Jack Johnson. But, Mike Tyson had that one-hitter quitter. So I'm going to say Mike Tyson would probably beat Jack Johnson. TJ, I've been talking to my cousin, Ed Oliver, about coming home and playing for us, and he laughed at me. I mean, I don't blame him. Like, he got a good thing going. So right now, who would you want to play for? All right, we see Stevenson actually running back the kicks right there. Normally, that was the duty of Travion Henderson. So, all right, so we're taking a look at Will Campbell, the former LSU Tiger right here, man. Picked the number one offensive lineman off the board. Number 2 was New Orleans Saints' own Calvin Banks Jr. All right, so, I mean, really doing a good job. And, all these people making fun of his hands and saying, oh, his hands small. I mean, look at the numbers that he's putting up. I mean, these left tackles that were drafted in the top 10, Calvin Banks and Will Campbell, are living up to the hype. All right, so here we go. Play action. Drake Maye looking some more. Throws the ball down the field, and that pass is, they're saying it was brought in by Stefon Diggs. And all right, so ball is on the move. Really good catch right there by Stefon Diggs in traffic. Let's take another look. Right there in his chest, he slides down and we're able to catch it. And I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, man. Like sometimes you just got to help out your quarterback. All right, so we take a look at Will Campbell again on this one, and Epinesa is trying to get there, but Will Campbell will not oblige. 4 catches for 49 yards by Stefon Diggs. Drake Maye in the gun. Here's the snap, and good pocket. Steps up in the pocket, throws it, and that pass is caught, and that's by Butte. So Drake Maye, with time in the pocket, able to go through his progressions and deliver the ball down the field. We see Doug Marrone, the Patriots offensive line coach. Doug Marrone, former New Orleans Saints offensive line coach, is out there trying to get his offensive line in the best position. All right. Doug Marrone, put a little bit of respect on his name, did take the Jacksonville Jaguars to the AFC Championship game as a coach. Flea flick action, going, stepping, and he gets around. Drake Maye throws the ball down the field, and he just throws it to the sidelines of the Buffalo Bills. That pass is incomplete. So New England trying to set up a little bit of trickeration right there. Thought it was the right time, but there was nobody in their vicinity. They might call intentional grounding here, folks. So illegal contact on the defense, actually. So that's going to be an automatic first down for New England. So a bailout. So Benford is helping out the New England Patriots. Let's see what happened there. taking a look. You get down the field. He's on Butte and grabs his Butte and tries to grab his arm as well. And yeah, it's just illegal contact all the way around, man. Trying to slow down the momentum, knowing that he was beat on the coverage. And it probably would have ended up being a touchdown if Drake Maye was able to get him, but he was under duress. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10. Mac Hollins on the move. And this is a handoff here. This is a Travion Henderson. He tripped up right away. And that is Joey Bosa on the tackle. So the Patriots on the move. Down 10-6, down 4 in this game in the third quarter. We take a look again at Josh McDaniel. And Drake Maye, 11 of 18, 121 yards. A respectable night so far, but you got to get your team into the end zone. Send Diggs in motion, play action, and he rolls to his right, calling out traffic, throws the ball down the field, and that pass is caught by Stefon Diggs, and you have the New England Patriots in the red zone. So Trey White, rough night for the LSU Tiger. You see Stefon Diggs spins off, gets downfield, and I mean, just a huge play right there. Really shows those hands, able to corral it in. I mean, the ball didn't even, he caught that with 2 hands and just, that was unbelievable. But you got Stevenson able to get into the end zone for the touchdown. So what a response by the New England Patriots. But let's see what this is all about. Okay, so it will stand. The penalty was declined, and that is a touchdown by the New England Patriots. So what a response by the Patriots. Stefon Diggs was key on that drive by 2 clutch catches to set up that touchdown. I mean, just was able to get right up the middle. So Stevenson able to get into the end zone. And ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a ball game. Got ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. And the extra point snap placement kick on the way, and it is good. So the New England Patriots with a 3-point lead, ladies and gentlemen, a 3-point lead in this game. So this game is way more interesting than some onlookers, prognosticators would have thought around this time, thought that maybe New England would have ran away with it, but Buffalo, not so fast. New England has other things in mind. I already read that. Let's see. It's throw down. Thank y'all for being here. 199 people watching this right now across platforms. I just really appreciate that. Stefon Diggs versus Kool-Aid next Sunday. I don't like the chances, man. I don't like the chance for Kool-Aid. I'm going to be honest with you. Stefon Diggs used to give Marshawn Lattimore the blue. TJ, I wonder whatever happened to Freddie Kitchens. I hear that name in a minute. Freddie Kitchens. No, I don't know what happened. I guess life happened. Let's look that up. Where are they now? Let's look at Freddie Kitchens. Let me see what Freddie Kitchens is doing these days. Freddie Kitchens. I ain't hear that name in a minute. All right, so Freddie Kitchens, as of right now, he is on staff as the offensive coordinator for the North Carolina Tar Heels, which would explain a lot and what their struggles are all about. Yeah, but Freddie Kitchens, of course, was with the Cleveland Browns. And, also he was a quarterback for the Alabama Crimson Tide from 93 to 97. Did y'all know that? Yeah, Freddie Kitchens, man. Yeah, he with the North Carolina Tar Heels right now. I'm like, Freddie Kitchens? Man, where you get that name from? Calvin Banks Jr. has been a stud. Yep. I said that earlier. I said that Calvin Banks doesn't make you feel like the Saints wasted a draft pick. I know people wanted him to draft like a quarterback, and that's cool and all, but I mean, he don't make you regret the pick. Like I said it very early. I said very early that I knew that this dude was gonna be special. I knew it. Like I said, man, he might like if he don't end up getting hurt or injured, like I think that he might go down in history one of the best left tackles in Saints history. And it was so cool, man, because I was able to talk to him at the combine. This before the Saints even drafted him. And I asked him, did he talk to the New Orleans Saints? And this is what he said.
Yes, sir. I met with the New Orleans Saints. Yes, sir.
All right. What was that experience like?
It was great. Yeah, kind of came in. They kind of threw a couple of their schemes at me, and I had to learn it. And I feel like it went good. I was able to pick it up pretty fast. Any questions they asked me, I was able to respond well back to it. So it was a great week.
What do you think? Yeah. So I mean, you can kind of tell like the way that he was talking, the Saints were interested in him. So they ended up drafting him, and he's been a solid left tackle for him since. I mean, but that was a heck of a throw. Like, that was a heck of a throw by Drake Maye, looking at it on the screen. I mean, on a rope. So, Josh, you asked me about his upside and can he be a superstar? That's the reason why. That's the reason why you got to believe that he has that potential, man, to be a superstar. I mean, making throws like that is a difficult throw. Like, you're rolling to your right, somebody's chasing you, draped up on you, and you're able to still get the ball down the field. And this is a handoff here. This is stiff arm. This is the Ray Davis, who rarely gets carries, but, he can break them. He takes advantage of his opportunities. So Ray Davis, grand opening, grand closing. He's probably good for about 2 or 3 carries per game. All right, so here we go. Buffalo with the ball, down 3. Seems like this is where Buffalo lives, and this is where Josh Allen thrives. In these type of moments. So even though you're up 3, you can't breathe, not even a little bit. All right, so Keon Coleman in motion. And he goes back to pass. He throws. This pass is caught to Shakir, getting around the side. First down and more. And he gets slid out of bounds over by the New England bench, but not before he gets a first down. But wait a minute, hold the phone. There's a flag on the play. Let's see what this is all about. And they might call for unnecessary roughness, riding, pause, Khalil Shakir out of bounds. Yeah. So they're saying that he gave him a little something extra. And so Mudo changed, and while you at it, add 15 on to it. So Schooler. And he's looking like, man, what happened? What did I do? What more can I do? So he's not happy with it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, these are the type of things that get you beat, man. Undisciplined play and bad decision making. I understand that football is an emotional game, but sometimes you got to channel that emotion. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10. Josh Allen in a gun. Has time. Throws the ball down the field. And that pass is incomplete, intended for Shavers. I don't know if Josh Allen thought maybe he was going to do maybe a comeback route, but instead he sailed down the field. So miscommunication right there, but Shavers is a return guy, special teams guy, mostly known in that department, and he rarely gets opportunity. If he does come out maybe like on a jet sweep or a reverse, something of that nature. So all right, so here we go. Josh Allen, 2nd and 10, in the gun. Shakir in motion, throws it to him, has a lead block around the corner, and he gets a few yards on a play. And that has been a play that they've used quite often. A couple weeks ago, that same play was a touchdown on the Baltimore Ravens. So they've been really utilizing that play. So third and 5 for Buffalo. Down 3. Josh Allen in a gun. Empty backfield. All right, so here we go. Looking, steps up, pass caught. Kincaid, first down. And moved old chains, ladies and gentlemen. So Dalton Kincaid looked like he was slow to get up there, but so you see Josh Allen. I mean, just looks off. That was more of a no-look pass. I don't know if y'all noticed that he was staring down the defenders. They think that he was going to go that way. He actually froze them with his eyes. Like, man, I hope they show that again. Man, that was an underrated pass. If you seen, like, he basically fooled the defense and he allowed Dalton Kincaid to get open with his eyes because everybody was staring at him. They thought that he was going to throw in the direction of his right. Instead, he just looked like throws a no-look pass to Kincaid in the middle of the field, just completely tricks the defense. Man, that was a good play. All right, but anyway, 2nd and 3 for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. James Cook in motion, moves from left to right, pass is caught. This is by Kincaid, tried to look for a block, and he gets tackled, gets past the line of scrimmage, but he's still going to be short of the first down, but there is a flag on the play. Laundrie has been all over the field all night long. Looking in the eyes of Sean McDermott. All right, so Khalil Shakir gets offensive pass interference. So, and like just the penalties tonight by Buffalo. Everybody. Like even the reliable players are being guilty of penalties. 10 penalties for 80 yards. I mean, just undisciplined football, man. 2nd and 13 for the Buffalo Bills in their color rush jerseys. Some people are fans of them. Some people are not. I don't really have an issue with them. Nice little touch right there. All right, so 2nd and 13, Josh Allen in a gun, James Cook to the right of him in the backfield. Here's the snap. Looking some more. Throws the ball down the field. That pass is intercepted. And Jones with the interception. Josh Allen, 2nd week in a row, throws an interception. And the Buffalo faithful are in shock right now. Did not see Jones coming underneath. Tried to get the ball to Shakir. And Josh Allen is like, God dug it. The New England Patriots. Somebody tell them they underdogs tonight. TJ, my Bayou Ballers trophy. This week goes to Yernan Singer, Kool-Aid, and honorary mention, Torricelli. Homie wants that guard job. And O-line kept rattled upright most of the game. Who you got? It's hard to like not mention anybody on the defensive side of the football. I would just going to give it to the entire defense for the most part. You know, especially the secondary. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy to believe, for the exception of Quincy Riley, everybody in the secondary that was the part that started secondary got a turnover. Like you got Jordan Howden, right? He had a turnover. Yernan Singer, he got a recovery. You got Kool-Aid, got 2 interceptions. So Quincy Riley is the only player in the secondary that's a part of the started secondary, I guess, in Alontae Taylor as well, who didn't get a turnover. That's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive, man. Those jerseys look awful from my perspective. Hopefully New England keeps on scuffling. That shot on Buffalo Bills offense. Buffalo fans are not happy about it, though. Yeah, man, you know, a lot of mistakes tonight, a lot of undisciplined football. Like usually teams would lose these type of games, you know, but credit to the Buffalo Bills. They're better than most teams, which is the reason why you're probably seeing a little bit more hustle. Like normally you giving up all these penalties, you would probably be getting blown out right now, especially the way New England is playing. So should be an interesting 4th quarter. It should be interesting, man, because Buffalo, they didn't play about as bad as you can possibly play. So if they can get out of here with a victory tonight, they would have done something. All right, so taking a look at what happened on this play, Josh Allen, looking. I don't think he saw. Yeah, he thought that he maybe had Shakir wide open. He didn't see Jones coming underneath. And, I mean, really, really good play by Jones. Just kept running and just – they call that getting small, right? So maybe you can not be in the peripheral vision of the quarterback, and I don't think he was. He didn't see him coming underneath. 1st and 10, and here's the handoff to Henderson. He tries to get around the corner, gets past the line of scrimmage, but that's about it. Few yards on the play. So running hard there, but didn't get much. And Stefon Diggs, he's fired up, man. He wants to beat this team. But as unhinged as he may be sometimes, every team needs somebody like that. All right, but anyway, 2nd and 9, play action, rolls, throws, caught, Diggs, trying to get up the field, bobbles the ball, catches it again. Really good concentration right there. And that's about the most exciting 1-yard play I've ever seen. I mean, so much happened on that play. All right, so we see Drake Maye under center, little play action, rolls to his right. I mean, Diggs jumps back, bobbles the football. Oh, I forgot something. Only got 1 yard on that play, believe it or not. 3rd and 7, Buffalo crowd at full throat. Drake Maye in motion, sends Douglas in motion, looking, rolls to his right, still looking some more, throws the ball down the field. That pass is. And they're saying that it's caught again. And Stefon Diggs. Man, if he caught this, man, what a catch. Toe drag swag. You can see the pellets coming up off the ground. I mean, what a throw and what a catch. Even better catch, by the way. I mean, the discipline, the balance that you need to be able to make a catch like this is just downright unbelievable. I mean, understanding where you are on the field and just dragging that toe. They call that toe drag swag. 1st and 10, Drake Maye rolling to his right, throws the ball, tries to get it to Henderson. He can't corral it, a little bit behind him, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. So Drake Maye tried to get it to the rookie Henderson. They couldn't connect. And this is why you need somebody in these crucial situations like a Stefon Diggs, right? Who can make those tough catches, make the sideline their friend. Chris Carter was synonymous with that. Throw the ball to the sidelines. He would just tiptoe, get those 2 toes in bounds to keep these drives alive. And you're going to need this to beat a team like Buffalo. 2nd and 10, Drake Maye in the gun, throws it quickly to Douglas gets around the corner, and he takes a shot. But not before he gets about 6 yards on the play. So this is going to bring up a very manageable 3rd down as we get closer to the end of the 3rd quarter. Take a look at the play again. You got Drake Maye. Understands where he is, throws a quick wide receiver screen out there, have the lead a blocker. Williams is out there to block. And, that's what it's about, going upfield. 3rd and 3. Drake Maye in the gun, Douglas in motion. Drake Maye, back to pass, throws, caught, Diggs, gets the 1st down twice and gets out of bounds. So once again has been killing his team on his drive, talks a little noise to his former teammate as he gets himself another 1st down. So Stefon Diggs starting to come on, and the connection between Maye and Diggs is starting to be a real thing. And the power, the veracity of that pass. I mean, that pass was tipped, and it still got to Stefon Diggs. TJ, you think the Saints got a chance versus the Patriots? Every team got a chance, but it's just not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. That's why I say I don't think there's no such thing, as a sure thing. Oh, we should beat them. Nah, man, you got to go out there and play. Yeah, he got the first twice, man. He caught the ball beyond the first down mark, jumped back and got it again and ran it out of bounds. Says caught the Bill sideline is trying to cheat. Yeah, he caught that pass. But that's why I say, man, like Stefon Diggs is the type of a wide receiver that you need. Like he brings that intensity. He's like a I don't want to call him a poor man, but he probably remind me of Steve Smith a little bit. He remind me of like his personality is kind of like Steve Smith, like when the way that he plays the game. Like he's not Steve Smith. Steve Smith a completely different beast, but he kind of reminds me of Steve Smith when the way that he plays the game and the way that he approaches the game. Like Steve Smith is kind of the same way. TJ, you already know if we're not hearing your name on defense, it's usually because you're playing well enough to not be targeted. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the way it go. If you lock down, shut down, like most people don't really hear from you. Like I ain't really hearing too much about Christian Gonzalez tonight. Like, because he's one of those underrated shutdown corners. Diggs still a beast. Yeah, he is, man, and he's motivated. He playing against his former team. And anytime you play against your former team, like you're playing them, emphasis on former, right? They let you go rather it's a trade or they release you, right? So you got to come in with a chip on your shoulder. It's basically like them saying like we like you, but not enough to feel like you can help us win anymore or something. That's basically what trading somebody or releasing somebody means. Yeah, so Buffalo, New York, man. Wonder what it's like to be up there. Anyway, 13-10. Drake Maye in the gun, 1st and 10 after pass reception by Stefon Diggs. He looks, throws the ball down the field. That pass is caught again. And that's Hunter Henry that time. So, man, Drake Maye is cooking right now, ladies and gentlemen. He is cooking. And Mike Vrabel and his team are about less than 15 minutes pulling off an upset. Throws the ball down the field. I mean, really good pass right there. I mean, just a zip on this, right? You got another wide receiver coming underneath, still able to zip it through. So really good, solid performance tonight by Drake Maye. Here's the snap. Play action. Looking. Throws. That pass is to Henderson. He tries to get around the corner, gets past the line of scrimmage, gets about 1 yard on the play. So not much on the first down play, but still able to get up the field, maybe get a yard. All right, so 2nd down for the New England Patriots. We look tonight at Stefon Diggs' performance, 8 catches for 104 yards. Last week, he had 6 receptions for 101. So once again, the connection between Maye and Diggs is growing by the week. Actually, he lost a yard on the play. 2nd and 11, quick pass, throws it again to Diggs. Diggs get up the field, gets a first down and more, gets around the corner, still running, and he falls down, and he gets to the goal line. And once again, the New England Patriots are in the red zone. So Stefon Diggs coming back with a vengeance to Buffalo. You can see really quick pass right there. And this is what you need, ladies and gentlemen. You need yourself a wide receiver that can get those yards after the catch. Get that yak. Like I said, really quick move right there. Able to make a guy miss. Able to beat a guy to the boundary. Still fighting for extra yards. Every team needs that type of wide receiver. All right, so here we go. Drake Maye under center. Here's the handoff to Stevenson. He fights. He tries to get a few yards on the play, but I don't think he did. So the defense of the Buffalo Bills saying enough of this BS. We got to make a stop. 13-10, and this is a really big drive for the Buffalo Bills. Really big drive. All right, so here we go. 2nd and goal. Drake Maye under center. All right, so here we go. Stevenson walks into the end zone for the touchdown. His 2nd of the night. I mean, untouched. Only 2 people could stop him, which is space and opportunity. I mean, unbelievable. Sheesh. Man, and the crowd is absolutely in shock right now. They are in shock. All right, so here we go. The New England Patriots, quiet in the crowd and critics all alike. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. So the New England Patriots making a statement in Orchard Park here tonight as they take a 20-10 lead on the heavy favorite Buffalo Bills. But somebody once again tell the New England Patriots that they're underdogs tonight. State of NFL podcast. It is yours truly, TJ Jones. That's me. And you can subscribe to the State of NFL podcast channel. All you have to do is hit that link inside of the comments, bring you directly to the page, and you can hit that subscribe button. We go live during every primetime game. Monday Night Football, check. Thursday Night Football, check. If they had Saturday Night Football, when that happened towards the end of the season, check. We got you covered. And also on Sunday Night Football, like tonight, watching the New England Patriots shock the world, holding on to a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter on Josh Allen's Buffalo Bills, trying to pull off the upset on this Sunday Night Football edition of the State of the NFL podcast. Vrabel is a good coach. Yeah, he's a really good coach. Pat's coming in hot next week. TJ, we showed the league last week that the Bills are beatable. I mean, the Bills been beatable all season. Like, even like the first game of the season, like technically they should have lost. Like, Baltimore did everything right. You had Zay Flowers over 150 yards receiving. You had Derrick Henry nearly 200 yards, 9 yards a clip. Like, Lamar Jackson out there killing. I don't even want to say maybe had like 3-4 touchdowns in the game. Like, usually you lose a game like that, but I mean, when you have the Baltimore Ravens basically imploding right in front of your eyes, it's kind of hard to, lose a game like that. But they end up losing. So what can you say? What can you do? I don't know. They technically should be at like what 3-1 coming into this game. So a few breaks that went their way. Maye is slinging that rock. Damn, the pass are whooping on him. Yeah, I mean, man, you can't underestimate Mike Vrabel. I think that Mike Vrabel in a couple of years going to have the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills like rivalry back again. And now it's going to be even better because, it really just started to be a thing where Buffalo started taking advantage, right after Tom Brady left. So over the last like 3 to 4 years, they've really been flexing a muscle. Because we know the Patriots used to own the Buffalo Bills every single year. All right, so we take a look at Curtis Samuel trying to get up the field here and fighting for extra yards. Gets nothing, respectable return there. But I think he's going to have this rivalry like being primetime television like it is now. I mean, taking a look at Deion Dawkins, the big man. I mean, one of the best left tackles in football. I mean, basically just I call him a great wall, man. It's just hard to get past him. Man, just like you got to just give everything that you can. Just really good hand placement. I mean, athletic big man. All right, so under center, Josh Allen, play action, throws the ball down the field. That pass is caught to a wide open Dalton Kincaid, and his big night continues, and he gets a first down and gets past the 50-yard line. So it looked like he's a little shaken up on a play, shaking his head a little bit. But that was a big gain by Josh Allen. And we see Dalton Kincaid kind of gets around, hit that little bit of that corner route. and able to get around the defender and just was wide open. Now you see Christian Gonzalez and had to corral him along with Spleen, the linebacker. So that pass and catch puts him over 100 yards and puts Josh Allen over 200 yards. Josh Allen looking, checks it down, takes a huge hit in the chops. And they might call roughing a passer because the way that Josh Allen got hit, my goodness. My goodness. Now, he took a shot. Of course, that's going to be roughing a passer. Yes. Like I seen that from a side view. He came in with bad intentions. So, Jordan, a little bit of some Greg Williams remember me shots going on right here. I mean, it just hit him all in the face, all in the neck. And not only that, just took all 300 plus pounds of himself and just slammed it down. And Josh Allen just like, whew, man. That's why they make the big bucks, folks. Over 300 pounds just slamming down on you. And for you to be able to get up after that. Hey, I don't think you're going to take a bigger shot than he took this from the Jordan on that play. All right, so it's going to be at the left hash here, changing from right to left. A little bit of a chewing, but he's like, man, I'm just trying to play football. Take him out for a play, let the big man kind of get himself together, gather his thoughts. Josh Allen in a gun, delayed handoff, and man, and again, takes a late shot. And Farmer, I mean, now, wait a minute. What is going on here? Now, you have two of your big men giving the players a little extra, and that was pretty obvious. I mean, Farmer, what the hell are you thinking? Like, if you're Mike Vrabel, you got to be wondering. Like, what the hell are you thinking at a point like this? Like, the play is over. You got to stop. You got about a 3 or 4 yard loss, and now you're going to give this team an automatic first down for stupidity. I just don't get it. Like, I'm pretty sure Mike Vrabel has to be extremely frustrated. I mean, play was over. Y'all got to stop. I mean, perfect defensive play call. But now, you're being selfish here. This is a young rookie, man. He's trying to find his way into the league from Florida, I believe, Florida State, Seminole. I mean, getting into the backfield is over. Like right there. Harold Landry got him down on the ground. It's over. But you want to come in all late, day late and a dollar short. Like, what are you doing? Like, it just makes no sense. See, these are if Buffalo ends up winning a football game, these are the type of plays that we're going to go back and take a look at and be like, hey, this is the reason why you lost. Got to play within yourself. Play disciplined football. But anyway, 1st and 10. Josh Allen in a gun, looking, steps up in the pocket, able to try to escape, and he takes a shot. And wait a minute, Josh Allen is slow to get up. And if you're the Buffalo Bills, man, you hate to see that. He was slow to get up. He took a shot. And that's the second biggest shot that he took on this drive. So right now, you have to be concerned. And Anthony Jennings, I mean, he just falls on his throwing shoulder. So hopefully he's okay. 2nd and 7. Shakir in motion, goes around. And looking, throws the ball down the field. That pass is caught to Dawson Knox. Knox is able to get to the first down mark. They're going to give him forward progress despite the fact that the New England Patriots pushed them back. They're going to give it to him. They're going to say his forward progress will stop. All right, so here you go. He takes a little chip on Harold Landry, tries to get him off of his pat. Spillane tries to fight. He breaks off a tackle from there, but once again, they gave him the first down because he was pushed back. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. We see Curtis Samuel in motion. This time they're going to bring Shakir from the formation from left to right. Looking, Josh Allen steps up in the pocket, tries to get around the corner, gets past the line of scrimmage, gets about 6 or 7 yards, gets tripped up. So Josh Allen able to make a play with his legs, looking for someone to throw the ball to, couldn't find anyone, rolls to his left and gets about 6 or 7 yards on the play. And that's the frustrating thing about Josh Allen. You could have the perfect defensive play call, but he always seems to find a way to get through, breaks a tackle, and makes a spectacular play in the process. 7 rushes for 46 yards for Josh Allen on the night for the reigning NFL MVP. 2nd and 2. We got Shavers in motion, calls out the coverage, sends Shavers back across the formation, hands the ball off to Ray Davis. He gets through, and he almost gets the first down, but he gets stopped about a yard shy of the first down, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. So the New England Patriots are trying to make a statement here, and these are the type of games that will let people know that you're for real. 3rd and 1, quarterback sneak, Josh Allen, able to push through, continue to push through, gets even closer than they wanted to even get, and he gets to about the 2-yard line. And Josh Allen, he's still slow to get up. I think that last hit a couple plays ago, he's still feeling the effects of that. But credit to him. I mean, a 6'5", 240-pound guy. I mean, he leans forward. You know, the big pile of humanity, pushing and plowing guys in front. You know, it is extremely tough, you know, for someone to bring down a 6'5", 245-pound man. It's even more difficult when you're trying to stop 1,000 pounds from doing it. And that pass is caught by Neon Primetime Coleman for the touchdown. Nah, he's not all that, but it was a really good touchdown by Keon Coleman, the Louisiana native, making his presence felt on Sunday Night Football. So Josh Allen sidearms it to Keon Coleman. And now we got ourselves a football game, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Johnson just out of position right there. Snap, placement, kick on the way. Hey, and it is good. So the Buffalo Bills pull within 3 of the New England Patriots, and now it's Drake Maye's turn to take the field to try to pull away from the Bills. Kool-Aid versus Diggs next week. Knox got 100 plus, so we need a tight end like that. That's Kincaid. But Dawson Knox, I agree. I think that he's kind of lost in the shuffle. I wouldn't be surprised if a team tried to trade for Dawson Knox before the trade deadline. The Bills out there looking like the Raiders. Nah, the Raiders only scored 6 points today? I don't want to be disrespectful to the Bills. That you got to be a different type of suck to be playing football like the Raiders are right now. Buffalo Bills offense are stepping up on the field, TJ. They're catching up on New England Patriots. Yeah, they are, man. Or you need a Diggs 100+ yards. Now, the Saints just need, if you were referring to the Saints, they need a Stefon Diggs type of receiver when it comes to yards after the catch. You see, that's what I'm talking about there. Like, you look at Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs isn't the tallest wide receiver in the world. He's probably around the same height, same size as a Chris Olave, as a Shaheed, you know, like, but he just gets yards after the catch. Like, you got to want it, man. You got to want to get that yak. Now, you can't be out there playing scared, man. You got to go out there and fight for them extra yards. Get your weight up. Yeah, but this has been a good game so far. I mean, if you're a Patriot fan, like, there's a lot of optimism. You know, watching a game like this, like, win, lose, or draw, and you're hoping that you get the victory. But even if you don't, I mean, this is a game that can show a lot of people that you're on pace to be a force. And if you win a game like this, like, you're gonna put the NFL on notice. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, narratives are written every single year. New narratives are written every single year. You can't look at a team and their disappointments and all the things they endured last year and just think, oh, man, this team is not very good. Organizations change. They change coaches, and the coaches bring in a different culture, and that culture might be the injection in the arm that they need in order for them to try to, you know, start a run. Yeah, so yeah, that's a new level of fan. That's a new level of fandom right there. You know, now you naming your kid after somebody. All right, so here's a return by New England. Stevenson is able to get dragged down to the ground, and the Buffalo Bills' second special teams making plays. So that's all it takes. That's all it takes is a little bit of momentum, a little mojo going. And the next thing you know, the script indeed can get flipped. Yeah, so here we go. 1st and 10 for the New England Patriots, up 3, 7:31 left on the clock. You got Drake Maye in the gun, Stevenson and Henderson in the backfield. Looking. He rolls to his right again, tries to throw the ball, and that pass is caught by Stevenson. He gets out of bounds. So Ramondre Stevenson making it done, getting it done, making it happen. Thompson looking confused. But yeah, I like this play right here. You got your starting running back and you got your backup running back in the game at the same time and using them as the receivers. All right, so here we go. Second and 4 for Drake Maye and the New England Patriots. 20 of 28, 242 for Drake Maye tonight under center. And they hand the ball off. This is to Henderson, and he barrels forward, almost got himself a first down. My next question is, why is Henderson's font on the back of his jersey look so small, like compared to other people? I don't know. All right, but anyway, Mike Vrabel always just looks like he just frustrated with everything. And you know the craziest thing about it is, I have a story after this play. 3rd and inches, Drake Maye leans forward, but there's a flag on the play. See what this flag is all about. And you got yourself a false start right there. So it's going to make this 3rd down conversion more difficult. But speaking of which, so I'm in Indianapolis, right, for the NFL Combine. And I walk into a restaurant and a lady like sits me down, and right across from me is head coach of the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, like this past Combine. And the way he was looking, because everybody was thinking that the Patriots going to get Travis Hunter. Like, you know how he just be rubbing his face? He was doing the same thing at his table, like as he was waiting on his food. All right, but anyway, 3rd and 5, Drake Maye in the gun, rolls to his right again, and he tries to get around the corner, gets pushed out of bounds by Thompson, and that is going to be a sack. That is going to count as a sack on Drake Maye. So you can get a sack by pushing the quarterback out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. So Thompson, I mean, this shows his athleticism. He starts off on one side of the field and just chases. I mean, just goes into full burst right towards Drake Maye. Like, what? That was great athleticism by Thompson there. And also was able to get the sack, and he boomed that one. I mean, absolutely boomed it all the way into the end zone. So, yeah, so he just absolutely boomed that kick. TJ, congrats to you and the Who Dat family. What a win. Seeing the results and seeing somewhere saying great. But in other news, Living Guard goes worldwide encounter with wing humanoids. The disrespect. I wish I knew what you was talking about. I'm pretty sure it's probably something very exciting, but you kind of lost me with that one, Grandizer. But yeah, it was a good game today, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Saints fans are excited about it. Moment of silence for Ike Turner Jr. has passed away in earlier today. My condolences to Turner family, friends, and loved ones. Rest in peace, Ike Turner Jr. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Ike Turner Jr. That's man. Yeah, man. That's That's unfortunate, man. But, of course, his dad, Ike Turner, really good songwriter, alongside, his ex-wife, Tina Turner. One of my favorite movies, to watch. What's Love Got to Do with? Grew up watching that movie. Groupie needs to go, man. People saying, well, it was a 49 and 54 yarder, so it's tougher, man. Get out of here with that nonsense. Nah, man, bump all that. Where is Charlie Smith? Man, I'm tired of people making excuses for Blake Groupie. Like, I get it. You like him, probably give you a few minutes of his time in the locker room, and that's cool and all, but I'm not talking about everybody, but it seemed like, man, they way too light. And 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 I'm not talking about my guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, shouts out to my guy Luke Johnson. I ain't referring to him. He called the spade a spade. He was like, man, it's becoming alarming now. I'm talking about, like, man, yeah, bruh. I don't know. I mean, just some of the criticisms on, Rattler amplified, but at the same time, we don't want to call a spade on Blake Groupie, who got one job. Man, that's going to be a fun game to watch. Kansas City Chiefs versus Detroit Lions. That's going to be a great game to call. Unfortunately, I won't be able to call that game, ladies and gentlemen. Won't be able to call that game. I'll actually be out of town next weekend and making my way back home. So won't be able to call that game. We'll be on the road. So, we'll get back into it on Monday night. All right, so here's a handoff to James Cook. James Cook, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here we go. Yeah, so taking a look at this Josh Allen play, I said he handed the ball off to James Cook and, tries to get as many yards as he possibly can. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 6. Josh Allen looking, and he rolls to his left, tries to get around a corner, and he's just going to chunk that joint out of bounds. But are they saying it's intercepted? They're saying Jalen Hawkins got the interception, but wait a minute, hold the phone. We got a flag on the play, so let's see what this flag is all about. I don't know, man. Did any of his feet touch the ground? So they're calling holding, so it doesn't matter. So it really doesn't matter, man. So at the end of the day, Gibbons is guilty of the pass interference. I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious, man. He pushes James Cook out of bounds, and he's called an interception, but you don't think that they saw him push him out of bounds? Like, come on, Gibbons. What are you doing, man? Anyway, the penalty yards are starting to add up for New England, and I don't think that's I don't think you have to be a rocket scientist just to know how the Buffalo Bills were able to get back into this game. So here we go. Play action. Josh Allen looking, tries to look deep. Instead, he tries to check it down, rolls around, tries to make a guy miss, slips through. And he gets up the field and gets about 3 or 4 yards. But once again, some of the most exciting 4 yards that you're going to see. And that's one thing that I like about Josh Allen. Like, even though he's running, he's always looking upfield. Like, you see his eyes. Take a look at his eyes. He tries to go to his first read, which is probably a deep shot, and he's still looking down the field. And he just gets around the defender, and that has to be frustrating, man. You feel like you got the big guy dead to rights, and he just slips right past you. So 2nd and 6, Dalton Kincaid in motion. Here's the snap. Josh Allen, you have pressure. He throws it and almost completes it to James Cook, but he does go down. So able to use some pressure right there. So we see Carlton Davis coming in on a blitz. I don't know what happened here. Nobody picked it up, so he came free and was able to get around there, tackle Josh Allen, but Josh was able to get the ball out before then and James Cook wasn't able to corral that catch. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 6. Dalton Kincaid goes down to the bottom of your screen. Josh Allen in the backfield all by his lonesome. Here we go. Josh Allen looking. Throws the ball. That pass is caught. Back shoulder fade. Keon Coleman. First down, Buffalo. Move those chains with 4 minutes and 34 seconds left. And that is a hard matchup for the big man going up against Carlton Davis, a well-respected corner, and really good back shoulder fade. Michael Thomas, with the catch, and Keon gets a first down, 4 receptions for 23 yards and a touchdown on the night. Here we go. Josh Allen in the gun, hands the ball off, delayed handoff to James Cook, tries to fight up the field, gets past the line of scrimmage, 2 or 3 yards on the play. And this brings up 2nd down. And the Buffalo Bills are on the move, reaching territory where even if you don't get a touchdown, can end up getting a field goal to tie the game up. But Josh Allen ain't thinking about no field goal. He's thinking about putting 6 points into the end zone. Secure, going in motion. And it's things like they're sending pressure on the blitz. He calls out his protections, calls it out, calls the shift, looks, throws, caught, Shakir, down the field, first down. Tackled by Jones. But a really good play. Josh Allen understood the blitz was coming, called out his protections, made his adjustments, and we see Khalil Shakir gets open really, really quickly here. So he's coming on a blitz. They showed you that. You see Shakir coming over on a drag route. Why? Because he understood the linebacker was blitzing. He's able to get that first down and a little bit more. 1st and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. And the ball is on the 28-yard line. Here's the snap. Quick pass off to Secure. He couldn't corral it. Picks it up. They whistle the play dead. Incomplete pass. That's one of those cases where you're looking downfield and you're forgetting the most important thing, which is catching the football. Happens to the best of us. Happens to the best receivers in the league, right? Everybody's just thinking about the next move they're going to make, not the first. All right, so here we go. New England looking like, man, we've seen this movie before. But anyway, in the gun is Josh Allen. He moves James Cook from left to right. Allen looking some more. Pumps. Rolls to his right. Looking downfield. Trying to make a play. Throws the ball across his body down to but Keon catches the ball, but Christian Gonzalez is able to shield him out of bounds. So really good catch. Would have been a touchdown if it wasn't out of bounds. All right, so here we go. We see Keon Coleman fighting with Christian Gonzalez, who is almost like the same size as Keon Coleman. I mean, he's just shoved him out of bounds. He's like, man, we out of bounds, bro. So really good coverage. 0-on-0 right there. Together, they'll be Robert Parrish. Third and 10 for Josh Allen. Rolling to his right. Rolling on the river. Still fighting. Throws the ball. Quick. That pass is tipped. Incomplete. Looking for a flag. There is none. That's just good coverage. And Christian Gonzalez, like, you got to be kidding me, throwing that ball my way. And Josh Allen's like, you got to be kidding me. How is that not pass interference? So 2 big plays by Christian Gonzalez. All right, so here we go. We see Christian Gonzalez looking. And like I said, Josh Allen just been doing what Josh Allen does. And I mean, and he just knocks that ball away. So here we go. Matt Prater in the game, trying to tie this joint up with 2 minutes and 21 seconds left. A 45-yarder. Buffalo trying to tie the game up. 45 yards. Snap. Placement. Hit on the way. Yay, and it is good. So Matt Prater, the 41 ageless wonder, Matt Prater, kicks the 45-yard field goal to tie this game up at 20-20. And I think we all can see clearly that this is a really damn good football game here tonight on the State of the NFL podcast. It is yours truly, TJ Jones, here with you. And we are almost under 2 minutes, and this game is tied at 20 in this NFC East matchup here tonight. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to everybody watching this, whether you're in the chat, listening to it on the road. Hopefully we didn't bore you to sleep. Now, this game has been exciting from start to finish. It's pretty obvious that the New England Patriots understand the magnitude of this game. It makes people take them seriously as a franchise and maybe even feel like they're back in some cases. And if you're Buffalo, you're the lonely, undefeated team in the league. You're trying to hold on to that undefeated streak for at least one more week, right? Going 5-0. Hey, TJ, have you heard that the new EJ Jones hit gas station love? No, I ain't never. No, I'm about to say my brother. Say my brother got a new hit. Nah, I never heard of it, man. These reps are calling some tricky, some ticky tack. I guess you're saying. I know you're on that Modelo, my friend. that boy on that Modelo so hard, he mistyping them texts. And tricky track. Boy talking like he been drinking. That boy texting like he been. Shouts out to my boy Jules, though, man. Chase Young needs to come back. Yeah, I think he'll be back soon. Are we missing with the Bills units? I don't think so, Trish. I actually like them, man, but that's just me. I've been getting mixed reviews in the chat. They've been kind of mixed. Blake Ruby is trash and needs to go. TJ missed 2 field goals attempt. Yeah, I mean, not very good. TJ, you got to send me an autograph, man. Man, chill, Josh. I ain't at no level be signing no autographs, but I appreciate the love though, man. He ain't the only one. Cutwater got me on an island, TJ. All right, man. So this is a tough game. I mean, both teams understand the magnitude of this game, especially for the divisional purposes and also momentum purposes. All right, so here we go. Here's the return. And this Travion Henderson, he's in the back. He's capable, but not on this play. On special teams, he gets to about the 29-yard line. So now Drake Maye has to go back to work, try to put his team on top, pulling off the upset, and has been doing well. But one thing I have noticed, and they may need to be very careful with this if you're Josh McDaniels, I'm seeing a lot of passes being rolled to the right. And trust and believe, like, teams are going to be paying attention to this type of stuff. The majority of the big plays have went to the right side of the field. So sometimes teams might stack that side of the field, especially on some of them passing plays when they feel like they're going to roll out. All right, so here we go. Again, he rolls to the right, like I said before. And he gets it off to Stefon Diggs before he hits the ground, and that's a first down. Whoa. What a play by Drake Maye. Still staying downfield. I mean, I thought he was dead as far as the play itself. The defender had him dead to right. He throws to his right, and before his knees hit the ground, he throws the ball down the field to Stefon Diggs. I mean, the defender just about to drag him down to the ground, and he just throws the ball, showing the strength, the power, not only, just with the arm strength, but the ability to stay up when a 300-pound man is trying to drag you down to the ground for a sack. I don't know why Drake Maye reminds me of Mac Jones. I don't know. Maybe like his demeanor or something, got that little country boy look, going for him, I guess. Mac Jones kind of have that same look. But he is from North Carolina, not the most metropolitan city. Matt Vrabel reminds me of Jim Mora. Nah, I can't. He don't remind me of Jim Mora because unfortunately, Jim Mora never won a playoff game. But Mike Vrabel is not really that. I mean, he's a serious guy, but he's not like he ain't like on some Jim Mora. Like Jim Mora was like, I'll tell you how the team really doing. Matt Vrabel not gonna do that so much. He's just gonna make the necessary adjustments and show a little tough love behind the scene. Diggs still got some juice left. Yeah, he does, man. Now he's motivated. TJ, that silver and gold got them feeling like the Raiders. That just kind of randomly put silver on these unis, and it looks okay, but just off because they're not that red, blue, and white like the Bills usually have. Yeah, I mean, but look, man, the NFL is changing, and y'all see what's up, man. And some of y'all adults up in here that got young kids who aspire to play football, y'all know, man. Like these kids in college, they want to, go to college because they want to look cool, wearing all these different color rush jerseys and variations of colors that resemble the school colors. Like that's just the new wave, Like Oregon started it back in the day, and that was a really good recruiting tool for them. And now you're seeing a lot of teams doing it. So all these people that's kind of keen on tradition, they're gonna have to like kind of, chill out on that a little bit and kind of embrace what the future holds. Because I'm telling you, man, you're gonna start seeing different variations of jerseys, especially like Nike and like they're designing these jerseys. So you're gonna start seeing all type of different color rush jerseys. Let's see. 1st and 10 after the 2-minute warning. Here's the handoff to Ramondre Stevenson, and he gets up the field, and the clock continues to tick. All right, so we're on the other side of the 2-minute warning, minute 50 and counting down towards the end of regulation. And man, him dragging. I mean, this guy's putting all his weight down. And he gonna feel that in the morning. The way his body bent, you got 300 pounds of humanity pulling you down to the ground. Like that adrenaline pumping right now. You're going to feel it later. Drake Maye looking, throws the ball, and he completes it to guess who? And that's Butte. I thought that was Stefon Diggs again. All right, so here we go. You see Drake Maye getting down the field. This is an impressive drive by the young man. This is the type of drive that you see a player grow up right in front of your eyes right here. Like I think we're starting to see Drake Maye just grow right in front of us in real time. I mean, clutch throw after clutch throw, play after play. Right now, it looks like Bill Belichick may be wrong about old Drake Maye. He questioned his footwork and all kind of other mechanics, but he's looking apart tonight. And Sean McDermott is trying to figure out how they're going to be able to neutralize and stop this kid. Because right now, he's hot. All right, so here we go. Now, I can't believe they haven't made this adjustment yet, knowing that most of the time when he rolls out, he rolls to the right. Every time they throw the ball, for the most part, if he's under duress, and they give that to Ramondre Stevenson, and that was a really good time for them to run that, especially since they've been finding success with down the field throws. All right, so here we go. We got Buffalo calling their second timeout. So this is some very critical downs for the Buffalo Bills, because if they get one more first down, they can take the time all the way down to 0 and win a football game on a game-winning field goal here. So this is crucial for the Buffalo Bills to get a stop. It's imperative almost. All right, so you got to call your best stuff right here. Whatever it is, you need to call it. So here we go. Gives it off to Stevenson. He runs. And he gets stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. Stonewalled. 3rd down for the New England Patriots. And this is the final timeout of the Buffalo Bills. So it is do or die. But we take a look at Stefon Diggs, who have had a monster night, double-digit receptions, making move after move, putting the defenders in a blender, turning short yardage passes to big gains because getting yards after the catch, and just being a reliable target for Drake Maye when he's under duress. I mean, he's checking all the boxes. 10 catches, 146 yards. Most versus the Bills by former Bills player. We're going to make a stat out of anything, aren't we? We're going to make a stat. What does that even mean? More receptions by any former Bills player. Like, what are we doing here? All right, so they're sending the pressure, sending the house to cause the kids and the dog. Drake Maye fighting, trip up at the line of scrimmage, and the clock continues to tick, 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 tick. But they have no timeouts left. It is 4th down. And Drake Maye, he's probably telling them, just throw the ball away. All right, so the clock continues to tick, and it's getting down to probably down as close to 0 as they possibly can without getting a delay of game and calling a timeout. And this is a crucial field goal right here, so it's probably going to leave maybe like 20 or 19 seconds remaining on the clock. And Borregales ends up having an opportunity to put his team ahead. With 20 seconds left on the clock, it would be difficult for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to be able to do that with no timeouts. All right, so here we go. 20 seconds remaining. Ramondre Stevenson on the sideline, hoping that Borregales here we go. 2 of 2 tonight. Made a 30. Made a 19. But this one, further than most. 52 yarders. Here we go. Snap. Placement. Kick on the wheel. Yeah, and it is good. Borregales. Looking like Adam Vinatieri. Reminding us. The old days of New England. When old Adam, as we like to call him, automatic Adam, would go out here and kick a field goal to put his team up front. I mean, the pressure on Borregales. 52 yards and made that thing look like it was a chip shot field goal right down Broad Street and right through the heart of the Buffalo faithful, who probably thought tonight was just going to be another night at the office, and kick. He would have made that from 60, ladies and gentlemen. What a kick. Sometimes, you just wish that your favorite team would have a kicker that could actually make kicks like that, maybe win some football games and put some points on the board. But Drake Maye, you think he wants this game, folks? You think he wants this game? Absolutely. And Borregales, 15 seconds remaining for the Buffalo Bills. And he's going to return this. And here we go. Curtis Samuel trying to get around the side, fighting, and gets absolutely destroyed on the play. And this is going to be a little bit further, as it has been a theme tonight, and probably one of the main reasons why the Buffalo Bills will lose this football game, the penalties. There's penalty after penalty, mistake after mistake, confloma after confloma. But we all know that the Buffalo Bills, 8 seconds remaining. You got Josh Allen, but even, excuse my skepticism about this play actually being successful with 8 seconds left. But we have seen crazier things in the NFL. All right, so we'll be popping champagne, of course. All right, so here we go. 8 seconds remaining. Buffalo, only undefeated team left in NFL. Timeout. New England. I want to just take a look at what Buffalo was doing. Trying to pull off a Minneapolis miracle. Drake Maye is like, man, I can't believe this. He's smiling. He's happy. He's like, man, if we can beat Josh Allen, and you can see the disappointment on the Buffalo Bills fans' face. You know, the thing about it is, if the Bills win, you're just a guy who painted his face just partying. You lose, you're just a guy with some paint on his face. All right, so anyway, 1st and 10, 8 seconds left. Prevent as prevent can be. And Josh Allen looking, throws, passes caught. And that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. The game is over. New England comes into Orchard Park and pulls off the upset. Josh Allen, can't believe it. Drake Maye getting his, you have to say, his first defining victory of his young career, knocking off Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. And man, this is a game that is a statement game. And Stefon Diggs came in and just absolutely shredded his former team. And he's talking noise, man. He's excited. You think he wanted this game? And Josh Allen going back to the drawing board and understands that they had a lot of mistakes in this game, a lot of penalties. And sometimes, even when you're the best team, those penalties can catch up with you, and you can be walking into the locker room disappointed. So this is a team that is a force to be reckoned with. So if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, the ones that's out here saying, oh, man, well, the Saints should beat the New England Patriots. Nah, bruh. You might want to take a look at what happened tonight. This was an impressive victory, and it wasn't like, oh, man, they just were lucky. No, this team wanted this game, and they played pretty well most of the night. And Drake Maye relied on Stefon Diggs consistently. And Borg Ellis and just makes it. And Drake Maye excited, getting his first legit victory. I won't say all his victories aren't legit, but you get what I'm saying. A victory of this magnitude can catapult a young quarterback's career. And I'll tell you what, if Mike Vrabel can get these New England Patriots playing inspired football, and I'll tell you, the AFC East can get a little bit more interesting with two really talented teams. You got the Buffalo Bills, who have been the class of the AFC East over the last couple of years. But now the New England Patriots are trying to restamp that flag of being the class of the AFC East. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the NFL podcast as we brought to you Sunday Night Football, Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots. The New England Patriots get the victory and a shocker, knocking off the Buffalo Bills 23-20. And as we know, the New England Patriots' next stop is against the New Orleans Saints inside of the Superdome. And the Buffalo Bills, we know that their next game, they can get back to the back on the winning trail as they take on the Atlanta Falcons. All right, so the Atlanta Falcons have a big time matchup going up against the Buffalo Bills team that's probably going to be extremely upset after losing this type of game, knowing that they let these penalties get in their way. But the Buffalo Bills are going to hit the road to Atlanta to take on those Atlanta Falcons. FAMU is greater than Jackson's. Man, what you smoking out here? Man, what you smoking out here, boy? Stop it. Do you see my JSU Tigers, boy? Did you see how they just put foots in Alabama A&M? What they just put 52 up on them, boy? Fitted burger. Look, man, everybody know what it is, man. Jackson State on their way back to Atlanta, all right? We're going to be doing the State of NFL in Atlanta. Why? Because my JSU Tigers are about to go over here and put BTA on Alabama State this weekend for JSU's homecoming. Your boy going to be out there. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure if you're out there in the Jackson area, holler at your boy. But all I'm saying is, man, don't sleep on my JSU Tigers, man. We here, man. We here. And we are here every single week for the primetime games, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. And make sure that you subscribe to the State of the NFL podcast channel. Put that link one more time inside of the comments. Make sure that you hit that link, bring you to the State of the NFL, because we don't just do live stream games or on the State of the NFL. We do videos talking about some of the hottest topics in all of the National Football League. And you may be watching this on a different platform, and I appreciate the love that you're showing to that particular platform. But you can always subscribe to the State of NFL so you won't miss any of the content that comes out. All right, special shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Also, people that's watching at home, rather you're on the road. If you're on the road right now, be safe. If you're at home, much love to you. Have a great morning, noon, night, whenever you're checking out this podcast. And till next time, I'll see you down the road.